All right. What's up, Dub Nation? Very, very poor rendition of E40 voice. As I said in the comments, I would go live right before tip-off, and here we are, right before tip-off. And we just tipped off. So that's literally at the 25-second mark. So let me put that in the notes. Struce, good defense. Max Struce with the good defense. What's up, everybody? Celtics going small, I know, right? They got to change something. 0-2. Amy, what's up? Good to have you, Parth. Naye in NYC. Kevin Love, fadeaway, post up. Nicole and Sabrina, what's up, everybody? Do not know where Dean is, although he said he'd be on soon, but I don't know where he is officially. Let's put the box score up in the background there. Kevin Love for 3. Oh, splash. 5-zip Miami. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk we'd get a 3-0 and a 2-0? Splash the like button. Thank you. Jason Tatum has to shoot a 3 and he hits. Broom for Lakers. Yep. I think so. They've already got Cancun on their minds. And there's nobody can stop Jamal Murray. Nobody. Bam Adebayo takes the old man Horford to the rack. They got energy. Good for Miami. They've got some energy coming out here, especially with K-Love getting pushed by Jimmy to get in position, which was kind of cool. Then they miss a 3. Miami has the energy. By the way, we'll probably get Rebecca at halftime, but we'll see. She said she had to work. Max Struce with 8 seconds on the clock, shooting a 3. That was a miss. Bricked it. Jaylen Brown scores. I see a lot of the Boston fandom is completely losing faith in Jaylen Brown. Kind of hilarious to me because we see the same thing. Just today, comment on the channel. Draymond gave up on us. Draymond gave up on the team. Tatum with the steal and a dunk. No, bro. You gave up on Draymond. Block. People are miserable out there, man. All it takes is a little bounce out of the Western Conference semifinals, and you are therefore miserable. Oh, a lot of weak people out there. I saw a David Goggins Instagram today, and he was saying the exact same thing. A lot of weak people out there. Jaylen Brown, fade away, bucket good inside the paint. Let's go, K-Love. I don't know if K-Love will survive 4 possessions with the Warriors, for those of you that want K-Love badly. Our pace is just too high. I mean, look at K-Love is walking gingerly. Jimmy Butler with the fadeaway 2-pointer. Man, I can't wait to eventually look through some tape. I want to look at some Warriors tape, look at how we lost, how we won. I'll bet you the pace is just going to be like extraordinarily different than all these games that I have been watching lately of Lakers, Nuggets, and Heat Celtics. And this is the most movement we've seen among the 4 right here. They're running a little weave up top by the logo, and then Jimmy got disrupted by probably Derek White. Jason Tatum attacks, no good, wanted a foul. They're not calling that today. Celtics, good job of hanging in there. I mean, all of that, and they're up. They're actually up by 3. We got a mismatch. Butler against Horford shoots a 3. Bam probably should have cleared out on that one. Jalen attacks. Back out to Jason. Steal by Bam. Steal by Jimmy. Reached around and got him. All right, so let's check out some comments. I saw your comments, Nicole. We'll get to that. So far, conference finals going. I know. Feels like, yeah, they're going in the direction that I'd like it to go myself. Although I've changed my mind. I am now rooting for the Nuggets. Why? Because Miami already has a few championships. What, 4 maybe? I think at least 3. And yeah, they have 3, right? 2 with LeBron, 1 with Wade by himself, beating Dirk. And then they lost to Dirk. So I am rooting for the Nuggets because they haven't won a championship yet. And I'd rather Miami not. I know. Sorry, Nicole. Sorry, Rebecca. I'd rather Miami not catch up to us as well. But anyways, start a poll. Let's just say Nuggets or Heat for a trophy. Let's get a trophy emoji. Oh gosh, I gotta find it. Where are the trophies at? Scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh, here we are. Basketball. There it is. Nuggets, Heat. Ask your community. Okay, let's go one by one now. Let's see. Who are we trading today? I know, right? I know Draymond is the winner and fierce competitor. Exactly. Percy in here. Cool, man. So let's check the concurrence. 32 concurrence. 22 likes. 32 concurrence. 22 likes. Please splash the like button. Okay. Ooh, the Flash, June 16th. I can't wait. Anybody seen Fast 10, Fast X? I want to go see it just to see it, see how ridiculous their escapes are this time. Watch a few cars chase and crash, and call it a day. And go, oh, okay, that was a 2-dimensional thrill ride for $30 or however much it costs for me to go to IMAX. Got to have the large popcorn as well. So let me know if you've seen Fast X and if it's worth $30. Oh, and then I got to add parking, $50. It was worth it for Guardians. It really was. But I don't know if I want to do that for Fast X. Maybe I'll just watch it when it streams. But anyway, let's see. Warriors talk. Yeah, well, let's talk Warriors in a minute. Just in a minute. Let me go through all of these. Where are you? What happened to that? Trying to look for these. There you go. We just need bigger players. Yeah, but not if they're like standing around like Kevin Love. Can they keep up with our pace? We just need a fence bender. So I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say, edit that to say we need fence benders. Jonathan Kuminga is a potential fence bender. I think it's destiny. There's no doubt Jonathan Kuminga will be a factor this year, and it's okay that he wasn't a factor. Max Strus misses a 3. We'll come back to the Warriors comments next time out. So Percy says we need big men. I say refine that to mean we need fence benders. coined by Draymond via Dumars, oddly enough, the same guy that suspended him. But we need fence benders. Oh, Strus got a 3 on that one. No, Caleb Martin got a 3. Man, these bench players, Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent. I mean, Gabe starts, so but these role players have done a good job. Like Jaylen Brown's got to destroy Vincent, but anyway, and he scores there. I say we to me and there, and JK can definitely be that fence bender, and I think he is destined to be in year 3. And finally, it's okay that he wasn't in year 2, although I still think he could have gotten a chance, but I do understand what appears to me as Kerr having this hard line on earning your minutes, because I will say JK would not have earned the minutes that we as fans wanted in desperation, right? You can say that, oh, we should have given JK a chance, but you also have to say that JK did not deserve a chance, except for the fact that we were desperate to change the momentum of the series, change the makeup of the series. So I don't know. It can go either way. I know if I was in control of the team, I probably would have stuck JK out there just to see what would happen. But I can't really hate on Steve for not playing JK. And I think JD John Dickinson feels the same way as me, 95.7 guy, the best analyst out there, I think, of the Warriors. He's my number 1. Anyways, Gabe Vincent for 3. Now they're playing zone. Look at that box out by Jimmy. Nice, even though it wasn't even a factor. Oh, look at Strus and Bam playing 2-man. Oh, that was clean. Rob Williams. So here's the problem also, Percy, with the we need the big man thing, is that Rob Williams doesn't grow on trees, you know? The other problem with the whole there's Dean. Let me finish my thought here. The other problem with the whole we need a big man is that guys like Rob Williams, who else? Nic Claxton, who else? Even Naz Reid. Naz Reid, we determined last live stream, thanks to Dean, was probably unattainable. Who else? Who else is out there? Vanderbilt. Do not grow on trees. So how are we going to get a guy like that? Anyways, we'll talk about trades and whatnot. Dean Chambers in the house.
What's up, Rich? Oh,
so
sorry.
We are watching Bam Adebayo shoot a free throw. Let me know if you want to sync up. Jaylen Brown. So 437, 436, 435, 434. Let me know. Jaylen misses a layup. Oh no, Strus, bad pass, but he saves it. Good job by Martin. Back to Strus for 3. Max Strus, we should analyze him. That's a good pickup for them. Can shoot the ball, space the floor. These are the types of guys that are going to get contracts going forward.
Yeah.
So he is probably going to get some money, right?
Oh, I mean,
what's his deal? Let's look at
you talking about Max Strus here?
Yeah, spottrack.com, Max Strus.
Well, I mean,
2 years. Da, da, da,
if I were him, obviously, you want to get paid for this
UFA.
performance.
Yeah.
But I would try and stay on Miami.
Oh yeah,
Clearly,
he's an unrestricted. He's going to make more than minimum for sure.
yeah.
He's just proved it in this series. Same thing with Schroeder. I was talking to my buddy who is a Laker fan, devout, but he's a nice guy, and we used to both coach in tournaments, in the same tournaments and stuff. Mark, my guy Mark. Yeah, Schroeder is going to get a pay raise as well. He's outplayed his current contract as well, and I think that's something that average fans should start looking at. Are these salary things, so you can then look towards next year with a little bit more IQ. So yeah, so we're not getting Max Strus. So cross that name off the list as well. Right? They're hard to come by.
Thankfully, it's not vital that we have to get a Max Strus. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
we have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Jordan
And
Poole.
Draymond. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about
And
shooters.
Wiggins.
So shooters.
Oh, shooters.
Yeah.
And Looney can develop. Start shooting that mid range. Even the three. If you're open in the corner, go ahead. You handed it off. They're all sucking into whoever. Just sneak a little bit out, a little bit, and hit the shot. No problem. But that doesn't require us to go out and get somebody.
Yeah. I do think we need a little bit more size, probably. A little bit larger wing to help back up Wiggs. But, man, we got Wiggins and Kuminga, and Draymond. And
That's
Gary.
where I don't think we need, per se.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, it'd probably be a good idea to try and find that. But I look at the teams that look like, that are down right now, right? So there are only two teams that have won a game in the Western, in the conference finals, and that's the Nuggets and the Heat. All the other teams that are left or have been eliminated, once they trade one or look at possibly trade, I'm not saying they will, but look at possibly trading a piece, it's like, wow, they got like one asset that they can move without seriously, losing a major piece of their team. And the Warriors have so many options here. Not just in trades, of course, but also in having players pop. And honestly, maybe we didn't talk about how special it was that we just started playing Moses Moody and he was good.
Yep.
I would just pull that dude, off the end of the bench, basically regular season wise. And oh man, the Celtics are just throwing it back out to 3 with 10 seconds on the clock. Just that doesn't work in the playoffs. But the Warriors have so many ways to get better. It's pretty remarkable how much talent we have on this team, It really is.
Yeah. And Steve Kerr talked about that in his latest podcast with Tim Kawakami, which I actually transcribed. And I will have that on the website tomorrow.
Oh, great.
So,
wonderful.
Well, actually, I'll have it for subscribers on the website. I should change your status to subscriber if you want paid subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love it.
For the website.
Thank you, Rich.
For the regular folks, free subscriptions and stuff. Great defense by who the hell is that?
Number 13?
Caleb Martin?
Caleb Martin.
Wow. Yeah. Remember his brother? Who's his brother?
Cody.
Twin. Didn't Cody Martin kick our butts in one of the games against them?
Was he on Charlotte? Oh, yeah. He got kicked in the head. Oof. Was he on Charlotte?
I think Cody Martin had a game against the Warriors.
Do you remember what team he's on? I think it's Charlotte.
I think it was Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Kerr
Our,
even
our,
mentioned that it's a deep squad. We have a deep roster still.
our fellas really wanted to help their hometown teams out this year. We lost to Charlotte, we lost to Detroit, and obviously we lost to the Lakers. What was it? 3-7 this season. So that's too bad. But give your
who's out there from Miami? That looks like Smiley. Cody Zeller.
Well, hey man, Smiley Geach was a good guy. I don't want to trash him.
He's kicking butt at Partizan Belgrade. He's kicking butt.
I mean, he can make it back to the league. He was so young,
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know. There are guys who come out of Europe at 28 years old and have developed and play a couple years.
That is true. Smiley does look. Smiley is very young.
Yeah, I'm not saying he'll be a star. I'm not saying that, but I don't know. I like Smiley, and I never like people trashing him.
Right. No,
he played hard.
Well. Wow. He's doing well.
Glad to hear it.
I just haven't really seen a whole lot of guys leave the NBA, go to Europe, and come back.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're
right. Smiley, Nico Mannion.
Yeah. Amari Spellman didn't go to Europe. He went to Korea. Right. But I always liked him too.
Also, Spellman, isn't he in Puerto Rico? Grant Williams.
Oh, I thought he was playing in the Korean.
They called it. Yeah, Spellman was in Korea, and I think he ended up. Oh no, I'm sorry. Pascal went to. There's a whole roster of Puerto Rican players. My guy Jordan Richard over at Swish Cultures did a post about all the people that are playing in Puerto Rico. For the season goes March to July, and they get paid well. Millions. And there's a whole bunch of guys. Boogie Cousins went to Puerto Rico. So I did not know that. That was a cool thing to see. And then I saw Eric Pascal on the list of names. Anyway, we were talking about
Leonis de Ponce, I think is how it's pronounced. March 7th, 2023. Of the first tier Baloncesto Superior Nacional, BSN, professional basketball in Puerto Rico. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, getting paid to play basketball in Puerto Rico. Not travel can't be too bad. I bet.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful island, but it's I imagine fairly easy to get around. Just as a guess. Learn a little Spanish. Say hi to Nicole out there. I like Pascal, man. I really like him a lot.
Yep.
Thought he was a good guy. But for whatever reason, he just wasn't able to get consistent minutes, So
yeah, they were talking about how he wasn't moving the ball in the 0.5 basketball. And when I say they, I mean there was either Tim Kawakami or Slater, probably Kawakami, triple for the Heat. Martin again.
But I wonder why he wasn't able to make the court with even the Timberwolves.
Right. So it's hard, making an NBA roster. It's hard.
No doubt.
You kind of have this really small window.
Oh man, the Heat rushed the Celtics trying to roll the ball up the court, which the Warriors absolutely never do ever.
They're not used to it. I think the Warriors just aren't used to that.
Used to what?
That ball getting rolled up. It's like
the NBA's been doing it for 10 years, man.
We'll have Gary Payton full season next.
That's true.
So
that's and JK. JK can do that.
Kind of an attitude, kind of a,
Oh yeah, we need.
You're not rolling the ball on GP, and when GP's not around for the whole season, it's hard for that.
So what, he plays 7 games for the regular season?
Yeah, it's hard for that to spread through osmosis. But yeah, I'm glad we'll get
I almost think that the NBA should not allow teams to do that.
yeah.
You know, like get the ball in bounds and go. You know,
Yeah.
are they challenging this?
Wow. What? So it was a charge, and Boston's challenging it.
Oh, I thought it was.
I don't know. I wasn't
I
paying
thought it
attention.
was an and one. Oh no, yep, a charge. You're right.
Yeah,
Celtics ball
that
timeout,
one's
so
going to
they're
go the
challenged.
way of. I mean, you look back at the replay, you never know. Maybe Kyle Lowry was moving or whatever. But
Yeah.
speaking of the challenges, yesterday, man, somebody on the Lakers bench told Darvin Ham to challenge something, and that one had no chance of being overturned.
Yeah, I was at work. I was trying to follow
Oh,
on the
that
live
was the
stream.
one where Schroeder pulled Jokic's arm on the rebound, and they challenged that. I'm like, that's the worst challenge I've seen all season.
What quarter was it?
Pretty late.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if
They
you
were in
have one, then
desperation mode. Yeah.
yeah, need to keep Shooter out there foul wise or something. You know. Um,
I want to go back to the comments. We will come back to this. Well, we can talk about it right now because they're going to debate this challenge forever and ever. I think again, just with Jordan Poole, one step at a time. Is Bob Myers going to be our GM? And then so I think there might be reason to believe if Bob Myers is not the GM, then maybe Jordan Poole is more tradable just because Bob Myers is a chemistry guy. And if anybody can get guys to play better and work with the chemistry and work on, continuing to heal the Draymond Poole relationship, Bob Myers being in the room automatically helps out. So with him not in the room, it's not as good. But I don't know if it's still good anyways with whoever it may be, Mike Dunleavy, if it's not Bob. But bottom line, I'm not even worrying about Jordan Poole until I know who our GM is.
I did hear that. Oh, and I forget where it was from, but it was a fairly credible website that Myers says he's not looking to have another job in the league if it's not here with the Dubs. So
Really? Well,
yeah,
we gotta find that one. That's
I'm on it.
news. That's news. Um,
It's NBC Sports one day ago.
NBC Sports Winnebago?
One day ago?
Okay, one day ago.
Not Winnebago. Not sure the NBC has a. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe some college out there.
Oh man,
But
who wrote it? Monty Poole, maybe. Hopefully, because if it's not Monty Poole, then I'm a little worried.
Taylor
Either him
Worth.
or Dalton Johnson.
Taylor Worth.
Oh gosh. Okay, that's an
It was
aggregate.
it was reported by Mark Stein.
Gotcha.
That
Okay.
if he does not return to the Warriors, he will not take another job in the league.
Let's go Hoops Rumors Smart Stein.
And obviously, he was also apparently offered a contract that sounds like make him the highest paid GM. So that's a good sign
that one came from 95.7. Mark Willard saying 10 million.
Was it only Willard that reported that?
I know that he was one of them that said 10 million.
He said the Warriors have made it very lucrative, and then it seemed to spread to a lot of other sources, so maybe it was him. But if those things are true, and I hope both of them are true, it's not going to be the money because, if you're the highest paid GM, I think I assume that's sufficient money wise, for to recognize what Bob Myers.
Oh, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll click on NBC Sports instead. So yeah, Taylor Worth, aggregator journalist. Would have been great if it was Monty Poole, but
Right.
see, this is wrong. San Francisco Chronicle CJ Holmes reported no, he got it from somebody else. He got that from somebody else. So, anyways, I'm nitpicking. If Myers does not return, Mark Stein reported on his Substack that Myers will not take another job. Here's the quote. That's what we look for. The exact quote. Cool. All right.
So what I was going to say is, if you're looking at Bob Myers leaving the Warriors for the Washington Wizards or something,
right? That was ridiculous.
Well, and no, I mean, just because it was out there, but if that had been, let's just put it this way, him saying, I don't want to, take a job with another team is honestly much less damaging. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, get me out of the Warriors. It's, I want to be with my family.
Exactly.
And that's just a whole different atmosphere, I guess, around the team. It's a possibility that Myers can be around, first and foremost, right? He cannot be around for us if he's a GM of another team. If he's at home with his family, he'll get the itch around December, whatever, come in and say hello to everybody, and they can always call him. I mean, that's just totally, totally different. And if he decides to say, it seems like they've done the right thing by him monetarily. And we never heard anything about the number of years in that contract. We haven't heard the real number, but we've offered you to be the highest paid GM in the league. At basically a taxpayer mid-level, non-taxpayer mid-level, which seems worth it for a dude of Myers' caliber. If we're just thinking about in basketball terms, reward versus spending, I'd give Bob Myers a non-taxpayer mid-level all day to stay GM, and it's not taxed too. So, or it's not part of the
I don't look at it that way when it comes to, there's the salary cap table and then there's everything else. So, yeah.
No, I understand. I'm just saying that
doesn't create a penalty situation or anything. And you just pay guys what they're worth, whether you're paying Steve Kerr, whether you're paying Bob Myers, whether you're paying, the security guard, or you're paying Brandon Snyder, the CEO, you're just paying what they're worth.
Raymond Ritter or Celebrini, who are vital also to this, to this organization, or Steph Curry. I mean, $50 million a year is a lot, but you ever seen the appreciation of the Warriors franchise in 14 years? I mean, you think he might be worth it. But the great thing is, it doesn't seem like it's going to be about money or disrespecting Bob or pushing him out the door, or him like, get me to a different organization. It doesn't seem like it's going to be any of that, which is really, really, excellent news. It's not the best news, because the best news is Bob Myers is back and pissed off that we lost in the second round, and gets everybody going, and and we're all locked in a way that we weren't last year. So anyway, that was kind of my thoughts on that. The Heat are up 10 here, man.
Answering some questions here. So then, last time Dean was on here 3 nights ago, was it?
Yeah, it was game 2. Blazin asked if I'm still rooting for La Flop in the Lakers. Yeah, Blazin, I am. You know why? Because I live in California. I live in LA.
We talked about different trade packages for Jordan Poole. So all we would need to do is go back to the notes of that game, which is in the comments of that live stream.
We also talked about player development points too.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you missed that one,
Okay.
it's not too long.
Wow, there's a lot of comments that I haven't gotten to.
Definitely.
Way behind. But we'll get through them. Miami up by 7.
We talked about him possibly being a consultant too, which would allow him to still have influence and not have to be day to day. Every single thing runs through Bob type thing, which that's also not my preferred option, obviously, but I'd be happy with that too. Him as a consultant, yeah.
But there we go.
Someone else.
There we go. Parth says he would do a Miles Turner for Poole straight up. I would.
I'm not sure that works salary wise.
Yeah, let's take a look. Parth, here's what you got to do. You got to go here. You got to look at the salaries.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I'm just saying.
20 mil to 28 mil. So you got to.
Oh, wait. He went from 35 to 20?
Yep.
19.
So then they got to throw an extra guy in there.
Again, we have to take back less salary than we give out too. So Daniel Tice won't work because Jordan Poole's at.
You got to find me a link for that, so that.
Oh yeah.
You got a backup.
CBA.
But yeah, I'll let you take that one, Dean. We will get big and save some bucks. See, so I think that's if Dean's right, we're not saving bucks.
Oh, I'm.
Oh wow, Bam!
I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I'm trying to find a link, but yeah, I've heard Keith Smith.
That will dispel some of the myth, if there is. I mean, I guess you could be creative and find ways to save some bucks. I'm not sure, but I think there's a lot of people out there. The other thing that I don't like that's out there a lot is we need to save money, therefore trade Poole. That's not how trades work, and not what we would be doing.
I think we paid about $370 million for that team last year. So that's expensive, but it's not the.
But what about taxes and penalties? I think
no, it was $370 million. I think with taxes, it was 100 and.
I've heard Tim Kawakami and the athletic people keep mentioning 450 million. So I don't know.
I think the Wiseman trade saved a certain amount.
Okay. But at the end of the day, I mean, kind of monopoly money for Lacob. I mean, it's not like this is his personal money in his bank account. This is the NBA's currency, and you've created the cash cow. Take care of that. You certainly don't want to just give away an extra 70 to 100 million to the NBA when you don't have to. I get all of that, but to make the goal of trading Jordan Poole have anything to do with salaries is kind of, it doesn't line up for me. We're trying to build a championship, which makes Lacob different, really. And whatever he does with this asset, largely has to do with winning, not saving money. So.
Right. I'm gonna email you this
let's
link.
Stop the we'll save some bucks in the meantime. It doesn't matter. We're trying to get better, not save some bucks. Saving some bucks will take care of itself. Like do you think suddenly Lacob or the Warriors we're going to go bankrupt if we spent $500 million in taxes and penalties and salaries next season and we don't win the championship? No, we're fine. We just keep going.
Well, it's not. You're not asking Lacob to spend money forever. You're just asking him to treat Steph, Klay, and Dre with.
I think it's overblown.
You know, you're just asking to put a championship team around that trio. You know, you don't have to spend $500 million a year if those guys aren't here. But look, this is our chance.
Exactly.
This is our chance to be number 3. Lakers, Celtics, and then, you know, the Heat are really good. The Heat are really good, and they seem like they're going to be a contender. And obviously, they have a very attractive city and everything like that, you know. But the Warriors could be really the third team. I think the Bulls had a chance, but they kicked Michael Jordan out the door, and that kind of blew it for him, I would say. You know, this, even if your guys get old, this is how the Lakers and Celtics operate. This is how they're not just dynasties, they're like empires or something, you know, Man City and Barcelona, or Man City, Manchester United, I think I meant to say, or Barcelona, or, you know, I don't know the soccer teams that well, or the Patriots or whatever, you know, that's how they act. And it's worth it, man. It's worth it trying to do everything you can to help these guys continue to win for as long as possible. And to keep that group together, you know, that's just what the Lakers and Celtics do. And that's what the Warriors are trying to get to, is that Lakers Celtics level in the NBA. So
what do you think about the Miles Turner idea?
Oh, the Miles Turner idea. Well, I didn't touch on that yet. It's interesting. Obviously, he's led the league in blocks a couple of years, and also can shoot the ball. I'm not sure about his 0.5.
What's his range on the shot?
He's a 3-point shooter.
Okay.
Let me bring up his stats here real quick.
Yeah, which is 37.3%. That's not bad.
Yep. Although I was like looking at it in the playoffs in 2020, last time he made the playoffs was 42.9, kind of up and down a little bit. Playoff percentage.
So he takes about 5 threes a game. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not bad.
Again, I'm not sure about the high basketball IQ. I hate saying high IQ for athletes, but high basketball IQ 0.5. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not sure. You know, Indiana's certainly not a bad organization. So let's see. I guess that means you're moving Loon to the bench, right? So what's the lineup? I guess Steph, Klay, Wiggs, Dre, and Turner. It's interesting. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's not bad.
All right. So who else you got in the deal? 28 to 20. I guess they could figure out the other $7 million. Tyrese Halliburton. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, put in well, you know, I like Duarte. I always liked him, but
still need another one.
Does it have to match dollar for dollar?
I think you got to be within something.
Within a range.
I thought it was 25%, but then I thought they changed that.
I think they did change it especially for the second apron. So
even closer, yeah.
That's one thing about that.
So
So
assuming you
the
can find that.
it was what Poole, Rollins and Baldwin for Bogdanovich and Burks is what I was saying. That was
Okay.
around. We took back. So I think if you don't include Rollins, it's about 500,000, and if you do include Rollins, it's about what 1.5 million or something less salary, which should be in the range. This I'm not sure where you'd have to get to. Maybe you might be able to include what Rollins and get TJ McConnell. That would probably work.
Yep.
8.7 million.
Yep.
And what's Turner's age too? Let's see.
Oh, let's see.
So he's going to age 27 here on Basketball Reference.
That's a good age.
27, 20. Yeah, it's right in his prime. Why would the Pacers do it?
Yeah. Get a backcourt mate. No, they have Buddy.
They have Tyrese Halliburton too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they might not have a center. Who would their center be?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah, I like the trade for us, but that's like, again, to go back to that other one. And I'm not saying I want to trade Poole. I'm not saying that. I'm just, these are realistic visions if we are going to go that route. The Pistons kind of make sense, right? Like,
Yep.
They have Jaden Ivey, but Poole and Ivey, with Cunningham, I don't know, the 5th pick, and Wiseman, or Durant and Wiseman, and a small forward, and Poole and Cunningham. I mean, I can see why they would do it. I could see the Pacers being interested if they have another move to make. Like, Hield is probably a fairly interesting asset for some teams. Certainly not a bad contract, but yeah, I'm hoping Bob Myers stays too. I'd like to start if he does come back. I think I'm going to start calling him Michael Myers, because that is his middle name, and I love Halloween. So, and he's the shape, man.
Okay.
But I'm not. I'm not sure that the Pacers are going to be interested in that in the same way.
I'm not even going to waste my time. Sorry, Mike McCoy. I just blocked him.
Sign and trade for Ben Simmons.
Come on here.
Honestly, I think we could get Ben.
Bye-bye.
I think we could get Ben Simmons on as a free agent. If we wanted to open up some cap space or something, but I'm sure that dude's not getting paid $30-something million a year in his next contract. That's not going to happen. I guess they turn it around. Oh man, the Celtics. Oh, okay, never mind. Grant Williams scored that. They are down 20 here, though. Absolutely.
Wow, we were talking about all this stuff, and boom, Miami's up 20. Crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable. The Celtics know that they can't go down 0-3 on having lost 2 home games on the road, right?
Well, I mean, it may be one
it
of
happens.
those things.
It's basketball. It's basketball. I get it.
Just maybe Miami's figured him out.
Yeah. Hard to believe.
A lot of teams are kind of facing their kryptonite. Our team included.
Why are the Heat the Celtics' kryptonite, though?
Yeah,
the Celtics are not a bad team. We know that.
Yeah, it could be the grit thing. We're just grittier than you.
Well, that's
because
what they.
and
Sorry.
Boston is like, the Heat might be number one in grit in the East. Boston's number two, but a more distant number two, and then everybody else a more distant three and onward.
I don't know if Boston's number 2 in
Yeah.
the East. That was their problem. They made a bunch of conference finals. Under Brad Stevens, and obviously here this year with Joe Mazzulla. The one time they made the finals, they had Ime Udoka, who really, he would go at everybody. He was a hard nosed, he brought that toughness out of them, you know. Um, and I just wonder if they just need a coach like that, because look, man, until this series, just last year, Boston swept the Nets, KD, right? They won a game 7 against the Bucks, won a game 7 against this Heat team. We're up 2-1 against the Dubs, and then this year
Be right back.
beat the Hawks and obviously beat the Sixers with the most valuable player in the league, Joel Embiid. So they're not a bad team. And, sometimes you just have bad seasons, They just don't work. Warriors lost the second round. Lakers down 0-3. The Bucks went out in 5. I mean, that's pretty surprising stuff, considering everything you've seen. But that, I mean, it's still the first half. It's still the first half. It goes after everybody. Okay, man. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But just the toughness has to be there, I mean, they have so much talent. And yet it just, except under Udoka, there just was something there that wasn't quite enough, And what it was, incredibly tough mindset from Udoka, and Mazzulla is younger than Horford, So some guys can pull that off, but a rookie head coach who'd spent, I think, 2 years as an assistant coach in the NBA. And he's younger than certain players on his team who had just made the finals with this huge championship expectation, obviously, I mean, they had an 86% chance of winning the finals last year, so they were expected to be able to come back and get one. That's why they're wearing unfinished business. That's a lot of pressure, That's a lot of pressure on a guy who's kind of unproven, and more than just the X's and O's. I think Udoka gave them a ridiculous amount of confidence, which obviously he had himself as well. This game could turn around. This game could turn around on a dime, and the Celtics go on a 30-10 type run here, whatever, But I'm just surprised. I like the Heat too. They're a fun team, but
Thank you, Dean.
no problem. But
For
just the talent disparity, it's got to be some mental toughness, pain tolerance, physical exertion, tuning out the noise or the odds just there's something that's carrying this team. Oh yeah, it's Jimmy Butler too. That's right. You know, to a level that they should not be at with the kind of players that they have out there. I mean, Tyler Hero's out, man. And they're not the deepest team, except that they seem to be able to people talk about the zombie heat. They're like clones, man. They're like they're like clones of I don't know, whoever they're playing, you know? And Butler's kind of he's not Michael Jordan, but man, he's got crazy fire and intensity that does kind of remind me of that personality type, you know. Butler also was unhappy in Minnesota with the way some of those dudes approach the game. I don't care how talented a player is. If we're talking about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, we're talking about trying to be in the biggest moments. You know what I mean? I can hear myself, Rich, on your stream, I think, a little bit.
Really? Oh.
There was a feedback there for a second. Yeah. Oh, please splash the like button, by the way.
Haven't done anything.
Yeah, well, it went away now, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns is very talented. It's interesting. I'm not sure the Timberwolves, who are they trading him for? Poole? No. Wiggins? They want Wiggins back? I don't think I'd trade.
Oh, gosh.
We need perimeter defenders who can also score, and I think JK can do that. But more than that, I want guys – honestly, if we're pulling a trade like that, and that's a lot of assets, I'm looking for guys who are a little more proven in terms of mental toughness, honestly. And I hate saying that because I don't want to trash Karl-Anthony Towns, you know, but it's just when I watch playoffs with him in it, and it could be Minnesota, it could be just, you know, he's not really meant to be the number one on a title contending team, and he'd be much more comfortable in another role. Maybe I'm really, you know, underestimating how good he can be. But since the trade is unrealistic anyway, oh man. Oh, Jimmy knocked over official. And what was he complaining to him about a call? Yeah. He even picked the official up and was complaining to him about a call. That's pretty funny. Bam. So I'll tell you, would you rather have Karl-Anthony Towns on the Warriors or Bam Adebayo? I'm probably going Bam. Karl-Anthony Towns is more talented, no doubt. But I know that Bam can handle it. I know it, you know, not that the Heat would trade Bam Adebayo. I'm sure Rebecca was very angry at me for saying that, but I don't know. That's my thoughts. Look, Jordan Poole is a half 6-man, half starter, and the guy, if we are going to trade him, the guy we get back is probably going to be sometimes a starter, sometimes a 6-man, always playing important number of minutes, you know, but. A multi-time All-Star right now, probably not. Now, Jordan Poole could be a multi-time All-Star. I mean, you had a little defense, a little bit, you know, better control of the ball. He already has all the scoring talent. So if you want one of those kind of guys, you should probably sit on Jordan Poole, you know, and raise his stock back up, let him develop more. But you're not getting both. That's just look, try imagining whatever trade you're doing that you're the opposing GM listening to yourself try to make that case and see if you'd really want to do it. You know what I mean? Because it's just like we're not gonna. The Timberwolves aren't gonna say yes to that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not trying to make fun of whoever said that in the comments, but oh yeah, he's getting paid $50 million after next year. So that's unrealistic. Poole Wemby is intriguing. I assume you mean trading Poole to the Spurs, who would keep Wemby and getting a lot of depth back. But there's a lot of young guys, though. That's the other problem, right? I mean, there's a lot of we need vets. We need real vets, not guys who've been 15th men, but like real solid veterans. I think this ought to be an attractive place for them to come play. I think San Francisco's a great city. It's the best organization in the NBA still, I would say. So
Fultz, didn't we have? I thought we had Markelle Fultz in for a workout a while back.
do we have Markelle for the draft?
Okay. No, just as a free agent. Let me look it up. Markelle
really?
Fultz Warriors workout.
I'm sure you're right. I mean,
summer workout. Oh, right. I'm pretty sure.
Warriors working out former. There it is. Yep. September 2022.
So yeah, we don't need to obtain a guy we worked out using a $28 million trade chip in Jordan Poole. No, that's never happening. Never.
What do you?
What are you getting Markel's full back? That's
Al Horford plays.
Nobody makes those deals. Like we just worked the guy out. We could have had him for nothing, and then we're going to trade for him.
Wow.
Anyways, I'm a little slow in the comments. I'm getting to the. I thought you had just talked about Poole to the Magic for Wendell Carter and Fultz. That's not happening.
Me?
Yeah, but maybe I was just imagining.
No, I was saying to the Spurs to play along because he said Poole for Wemby, or he said Poole and Wemby are interesting, and I said I imagine you mean trading Poole to the Spurs, who to play alongside Wembanyama, because while I heard national media talking heads, certain two of them, saying that they think they wouldn't trade Wemby for LeBron or Steph, which is, they said, even for one guaranteed championship. It's just ridiculous. Look, let's tone down the expectations a little bit of Wemby. The other part of that is that the Spurs are drafting Wembanyama, okay, and they're going to keep him. I'm positive of that. Yeah. We need veterans back if we're going to move off of them. It's also pretty interesting how the kind of realistic talent that we could get back for Jordan Poole based on some of these ideas, right? Seems like the dude's a valuable NBA player, doesn't it? Kinda. Yep. He just had a bad postseason.
Yep.
The other thing is, the dude's got hard work. Everybody talks about his work ethic. Everybody talks about his work ethic. You know what I mean? And he's like, and how he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. I mean, that's great. Those are what's the opposite of a red flag? Green flag, blue flag, whatever we'll call it a teal flag, man. Those are good signs of the kind of person he is and the kind of player he is, So, even if I got the exact Pistons trade that I was talking about, while I think that's a win-win, I'd still be extremely sad seeing Jordan Poole leave. I really like that guy, man. And we're just not 4-time champs. We're not winning that 4th championship without Jordan Poole. It just wasn't going to happen. Look, why don't you go back and watch Jordan Poole's playoff highlights after this live stream at some point and remember how amazing that dude was for us, how fun he is, how badly we need him, man, to be the Jordan Poole that we know he can be, I hate when people say, get him out of here. It's like, I don't know. Don't you have any appreciation for what they did? It's one bad postseason for a 23-year-old. So
Also, I have an anecdote on that. So back when I was 25, 26, I don't know how I thought of this yesterday. The old Japantown League. So there's a lot of vets in the Japantown League. I'm coming through 25, 26 years old. And I can't remember if this must have been after I had like a breakout season, second in the league in scoring. It was like my best time ever, 26 points a game. But then I got on a team where I think it was during the summer. During the summer, the league changes to a draft league, which is nuts, but it was kind of fun because then you switch it up a little bit. Then you have 2 seasons where you're with your guys, and then in the summer, everybody gets split up, and then you just draft. Pretty fun stuff. Those were the days. I don't think that really exists anymore. And I think I got drafted on a team where there was a couple vets, and one of the vets was like, he knew what I could do, but he knew that I just didn't know what to do when I was out there. So he'd go, I get the ball, and he'd be on the bench. He'd be going, attack, right? And I'd be like, I don't feel like attacking right now. I'm just trying to remember what went through my head. I don't feel like attacking right now. What exactly does he mean by that? Aren't I a ball hog if I do that? We're talking about I'm 25, 26. How old is Jordan Poole? 23.
23,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what the F I was doing out there. Literally had no idea what I was doing. You would have a couple of nice bursts where things kind of just clicked. But as far as an actual plan out there, no plan. I don't know what I was doing. So
here's another thing too. In your league, I'm sure you were pretty established already, Rich, right? I mean, like, you know what I mean?
I had the breakout season, so
right. But okay, so let's remember, okay, Jordan Poole, terrible series against the Lakers on a bad ankle and a very bad ankle against the Kings. That thing was like, you could tell it was taped almost a bursting point or whatever, which might have affected this young player's ability to use his quickness correctly. Before that, he was a championship 6-man, averaging 17 points a game on 63% effective field goal percentage, something like that. Let's see. Playoffs last year. 60.6% effective field goal percentage last year, 91.5% from the line. And the year before that, he had played 6-7 games in the G League. And what the difference was between that rise was they won the championship, which just double all the intensity that every team plays you with, double the game planning, double all of that you're used to. I'm talking about from contender to winning the championship, because now you have the target right in your back, man. Having to go through not just the internal stuff of Jordan being punched by Draymond Green, his big bro, right? Called him big bro constantly, which must have hurt. But then the constant media pressure on this dude, and have it end in an injured postseason after a very strange regular season where, Steph missed quite a lot of time and Jordan carried us. He played really well. I was at one of those games in San Francisco, and that the team went as Klay and Jordan went, and both of those guys had terrible postseasons for whatever reasons. People are also throwing Klay under the bus, and he's done. Get rid of $42 million possible. Like, I don't know. We got unlucky. Got unlucky in the postseason with Klay missed shots and Jordan being hurt, and we had a lot of pressure on the team, and the vibes were a little off, and we fought hard and probably went farther than we should have, honestly. Really, we were the 11th seed for a lot of the year, man. So
I'm still going to be one of those guys that, if we're playing the blame game, Steph and Draymond, they get a lot of blame too. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing in some of these games in the 0-5 road trip. Even in game 5, I'm sitting there, okay, we've got the Kings figured out. Draymond throws the ball to the other team. So
and see,
everyone's
I can't
blaming everybody but Steph and Draymond, and yet they actually have as much fault for this season as anybody else, equally. And they can improve coming into the season, not just goofing off. I'm Steph. I'm goofing off in Charlotte. I'm goofing off in Orlando. Now he knows not to do that. You just have to go through it. It's not a character attack. I've been through the same thing. You win a championship, even in men's rec league. The first game and first 3 games of the next season at a minimum. Come on, you're waltzing through those games because you think you're the shit.
Well, they didn't say it. Thank God.
Give you games.
They didn't say it like Trae Young did. They didn't actually say it out loud, where he said, "Oh, these games just don't mean as much." After he played in 6 conference finals after 21, or maybe it's 5, but they did play like that, Also, Steph eventually, I think, really said, "Oh, I just have to do everything," and he had a couple turnovers in the playoffs. But look, man, we were a disconnected team. It was a domino effect of Draymond punching Jordan, missing training camp, having, again, all these young guys on the team who were not JTA or Otto Porter or Gary at the beginning, trying to develop Wiseman. We were such a disconnected team. You can't reach that level without your team if you want to keep playing that team game, right? Say, well, Jordan did it, Kobe did it, but they did it by telling everybody to get out of the way and, setting the example for one night. And that's great. You know, I think Curry did that in the playoffs because that's when you should do it. That's when you should, you know, step up. But again, that, you know, you say what you want about the KD years, there's a little tension there, but this is the first time I can think of in the whole of those guys' careers where we started off the season with kind of bad vibes a little bit. Not bad, maybe that's not the right word, but, you know, a real disconnect between the team. And to Draymond's credit, to Jordan's credit, to the team's credit, we really got that back together, especially after the trade deadline. I kept telling you, because also there was this depressing thing of looking at this poor young man on the bench with all the talent in the world, and James Wiseman, who just didn't fit with the wow. Marcus Smart hit a crazy shot there. We are back, by the way. I guess Rebecca wasn't available for halftime, or
Oh, I better check my texts.
yeah.
Oops, I texted her and then I forgot to check.
Sorry, I was just rambling over here, and we got to.
It's not your fault. Nope, I never did get back a text from her. She did say she had to work. But there was, I think maybe she was trying to find a way to get back home to watch the game as well.
Right.
And well, you know, we tried. It's all good.
She always was very into the game, but also yawned a lot after work. Like, she obviously works very, very hard, and so understandable. If it's after work, it's hard to then jump.
Oh, we can also try after the game's done too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll be right back. I'm going to fill up my water.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Dean, man. Keeping the boat afloat and with interesting topics.
I was just on a boat, Rich. Thank you, man. Yeah, Butler. It's he got the call. He's still complaining. Man. Everybody's Red Auerbach these days, huh? And just wear down the refs every second you get, except the Dubs. Well, Draymond maybe, but at least Draymond's exciting, you know, when he yells at the refs. Oh man, can we get Butler? I would make that deal, definitely. I would like Jimmy Butler on the Dubs, no doubt. Might be a little hard to convince Pat Riley to do it, but
Max Strus.
Nah, I'll take Butler over Max Strus, I think, man.
Hold up, let's look at Strus's numbers for today. Sheesh, man. 8 points on 2 for 6. Oh, feels better than that.
By the way, just to remind you, this Heat team and the way they play together, that's the way the Warriors have played for years now. Yeah. They played together like that, except, well, they got lucky and didn't just have they call it Heat culture. Draymond called it, I think, Warriors character, which I love. You know, but we got 3 Hall of Famers, man. Well, basically we had 4, 5 Hall of Famers most of the time. And you can talk all you want. If I'm the Dubs, the way the Nuggets are running a very Warriors-like offense, and the way the Heat have just had everyone buy in and play like they don't. Honestly, the reason the Heat are beating up a lot of the teams they played in the East is they don't seem to care about being too fancy offensively. They just have everybody on the team playing extremely hard on defense. And, you know, the Warriors can do this. The Warriors can do what the Heat are doing. And we have before. I'm totally convinced of that. Every player on the roster of the Warriors, no matter who it is coming in next season. We can play together like that. We have. Look, I'm not sure if Steph can go to Bob and say, just stick with me until my contract's up or until I retire. But please, God, don't let Draymond Green leave, because he's how we get to that level. Look, Draymond is our Jimmy Butler, and they're different players, definitely, but those two, like, thank God we don't need a Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I would love a Jimmy Butler, but we have Draymond. You know what I mean? That's just man, we're so lucky. We're so lucky with the team that we have, the team that Bob Myers has built. I don't want any of this at top to change. I really don't. We can play a lot better than we played last year. There's no doubt about that. So, who wants $100 million? Draymond? What was that, $25 million a year? Was he the 50th highest paid player in the league?
4 years or for 3 years?
I don't care. I really don't. Honestly, I give Klay. Look, okay, here. Well, I'm going to bring up NBA contracts.
Yeah.
Right. 2023.
Oh, Rebecca just chimed in. She's stuck at work.
Stuck at work. Oh no, that's terrible. I was hoping to see her on here. So, $33 million a year. There's some real good players: Ingram and Murray and Zion and Ja. But there's also Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. So 30. Let's say 33 to 30. I mean, that Gordon Hayward's at 31. I don't know. It feels like we can have somewhere around 40 to 30th. Highest paid player for Draymond Green, and it would help if that was a decline in contract, just to make those guys more valuable to the team as they get a little older. But I have no problem playing. Those guys have delivered over and over and over and over and over again, and the Celtics they're down 23 in a must-win game. This team's kind of soft, man. I wanted them to go to the finals too. I wanted the Lakers to go to the finals as well. Lakers aren't soft; they're getting beat. The Celtics, they're playing soft, man. That well, they need I guess they need a Draymond Green type leader. I mean, I don't know. If the Celtics lose this game, and they might not, they've come back big before, but well, forget that. The teams that I've been rooting for are 0-6. I haven't won a game since Game 5. I haven't seen the team that I was rooting for win a game since Game 5. And I like the Nuggets. I like the Heat. I like and respect those teams, but man, if they lose, it'd be 7, Bruce. Yeah, so it's okay. I can handle it, but pretty frustrating. I'll tell you that. Well, Bruce, hey man, Yogi Berra, you know what I mean? It's not over till it's over. Oh, see, told you. Yeah, it's after it's over. I know. You remember when we were trying to win by 30, how I felt like it Rich say the score doesn't matter. Like, I really believe that. It's not over till it's over. So, yeah. What do you mean Myers didn't put the team together?
I don't give him attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, look, this is not our highest rated show right now. I would imagine there's 57 people watching.
Actually, it's pretty good, better than last time.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You put up Nuggets or Heat already, Rich? I didn't hear that.
I put up what?
You put up Nuggets or Heat?
Oh, as a poll?
Yeah. Why?
Because I wanted to see what people wanted between the Nuggets and Heat.
But why? They're not playing each other yet.
Why not? Got 102 votes.
Saying, like you're saying those two are going to the finals. Yeah. All right. I think both the Lakers and Celtics are probably going to lose these series. Tatum knew I was wearing all white. Well, all the Heat are wearing all white too. Man, Jimmy Butler's crazy. I love it. Can you imagine Steph, Klay, Butler, and Dre, and then Loon keeping it all together? Steph's dancing, Klay's flashing hopefully 5 signs, Butler's screaming in Draymond's face, like getting him riled up, and Looney's out there just I don't know, walking up the court. That'd be a lot of fun, man. You know, I feel like Butler is also – he's not the shooter. Well, he's not the scorer that Kawhi is.
Gosh.
But he's taking that kind of two-way player, the best two-way player title. With Kawhi hurt, it's hard to think of a better one than Butler, you know? Yeah. Although, and I don't mean to be cruel, but if this is a disappointing loss, and
Bam out of bio almost ended Jason Tatum's life. Wow. Good pass by Strus. Oh, he just barely missed it. Wow. Man, the crazy thing with all these games that I'm watching is I just know Steph, Klay, and Draymond are looking at these games and going, man, we can beat these teams, whether it's the Nuggets or the Heat.
The Nuggets are playing excellently, but they're playing the same style of basketball that the Warriors are playing. They're just, trust each other more, play harder than we did until, Game 7? Then it was a little late in the season to get it all together to play that way. But I think the way the Nuggets are playing is justifying the talent level that the Warriors can get to. Definitely. Pat Riley, a.k.a. Hannibal Lecter over there. Loving it. Who's Hannibal Lecter? I only watch movies made after 2005. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's too old. Although I'm sure people know who Hannibal is.
Oh, so in the comments they're talking about, did anybody find out who leaked the video? You know, here's a silver lining.
No, they leaked the Peyton thing, man. We need to find Peyton
whatever
that is.
The Peyton thing.
The Peyton starting lineup to Shams. or Shams.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
still
it's
got
weird.
leaks. We need to get rid of
Well,
that.
I'll try and find out if those are linked. You never know. It could be a security guard at Chase Center, sees the tape rolling, pulls out his cell phone and gets the Draymond punch on that
Yeah.
one. Whereas the leak
It's
about them starting could be a different guy.
I'm not saying it's even the same person. Just it seems to happen to the Dubs probably because we're the dynasty, right? So it attracts more of that than any other team. But it seems to happen to this team. Oh man. Yeah.
Caleb Martin again.
The Celtics
Yeah.
are just getting their teeth kicked in, man.
What's and your point, because I wanted to say something about that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's just that leak thing, whatever's going on, even if it's different people, that's almost worse. Like we need that needs to be stamped out, man. That is annoying. You can't have leaks for a basketball team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just not.
I'm not worried about it. My point was that happened. That looks, that made things worse. But look, the silver lining to this whole season was that everything happened all at once. So Wiggs missed 2.5 months. Have it happen in the same year that Draymond punched Jordan. Right? Just let it all crumble in the same year.
Steph got hurt twice, too.
Yeah. So, look at the bright side of things. Sometimes I go back to, everything in life is really just an experience. Whether you label it good or bad, you actually have control over that. You don't need to think that this thing that everybody else thinks is bad, you don't have to think of it as bad. You can look at the silver lining of it and take the positivity out of it, and then you can grow from it. Because when you're not stressed out, when you're not thinking of something, oh, this is bad, oh my gosh, then there's fear. Well, if you're in a state of fear, how can you grow? It's not the same thing. It's not the same environment for you. So
you make way more mistakes.
Yeah, go positive, and then you can grow and learn from that.
Yes.
So it's a mindset, and it's really it's trying to keep you away from stress, which is a state of survival. It's like caveman days. You go outside the cave, there's a saber-toothed tiger, boom, you're in survival mode, you're in stress.
You should be stressed. You have the right to be stressed. Yes.
It is not a time for you to go, oh, what content should I create on the cave wall? What beautiful drawing should I do next? Or, oh, how should I, organize my tribe, back over there where we live in the caves? Who should do what, and how should we become more efficient and all of that? It's like, no, I need to survive right now.
Food. Yeah.
So it's kind of like just trying to understand that in our society, there's a lot of people, and social media makes it worse. It's going to put you in that stressful mode. And I think if you can recognize who's in a stressful mode and who's not, that's the first step. Recognize if you're in a stressful mode or not, because if you're in a stressful mode, your body is thinking you're in survival. And when you're in survival, you can't really think outside the box and be creative and learn from things and evolve. So I think that's something that I'm noticing more. So that's why, double down, triple down on the idea of positivity on here. Even today, I told you the last time I was on here, I had a disagreement with my dad. He wanted to go off on Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
I got another text today. He was excited about Looney. Then he ended it by saying, hopefully Steve doesn't mess him up. And I sat there, I'm going, okay, I had to put the boundaries out there. I said, hey, Dad, I'm trying to lead my life from a positivity standpoint. That's in all areas of my life, not just basketball. I have gratitude. You're the one that pointed me to basketball. Without you, I don't become passionate about it.
Oh,
but
definitely.
at the same time, I cannot sit here and just argue with you about it because you've already made up your mind. I'm not going to change your mind about Steve. I'm happy about Steve and I want to stay happy about Steve. I know that he has some things that are not perfect, but not everybody's perfect. We can sit here and have valid arguments on both sides as to whether or not Kuminga should have played against the Lakers. We can there's both sides of it. We can present arguments as to whether or not Moody's development was the right thing, the way that it happened, right? So we can go back and forth on that, but the sense that I'm getting was that you've already made up your mind. It's kind of like you're upset about it. There's some misery around you about that because you can't control Steve. There's that loss of control, and so now you're in that state of misery. Well, you know what? I don't want to be a part of that. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Steve with you anymore. And that's that. So, but I made sure he knew that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know basketball is this
You know
this
what's
awesome.
funny though, Rich?
Yeah,
Had you approached that with a different mindset, you might have gotten angry at him. You know what I mean? Or like
right.
not been able to explain it from that place of love, and respect.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, I mean, my family is there. Not my dad so much, but his brothers are. They've been watching the Lakers for a long time. They've seen a lot of championships. In fact, they've seen all of them. I would say in LA. That is. Um, it was pretty cool, actually. Now that I think of it, but they get somewhat negative fairly quickly about the team. To the point where it's almost funny. They don't get angry or
Right.
too riled up, but they'll be like, game's over. It's like the first quarter. It's like, come on, man. I don't know what. Well, it. Look, it's either a blowout or they're kind of feeling antsy about the team, which is classic. That is kind of classic way a lot of people watch sports, and I guess I understand it, but it's not. Well, it's not quite as player oriented, I guess, as we're trying to be here. We're pro player. We try and think like players. We're not players. We don't know what it's like to be an NBA player. Rich has had his experience running leagues and playing in leagues. I played, high school basketball in 2 different countries. Traveled around a little bit, but we're not NBA players. But we love the idea of trying to understand the game like them. And wow, what would it be like, do you think, Rich, on the Celtics bench after this quarter? How do you handle that? How do you handle getting whooped in a game where you could either go up? Not go up. Where you could either make it a series at 2-1 versus potentially getting blown out to go down 0-3. Again, the Lakers Nuggets, they're down 0-3. Those are tough competitive games. Lakers are not soft. They're not a soft team by any means. They're just losing. But the Celtics team is having some problems with just energy, which is unbelievable. They're probably going to play Grant Williams most of the second half just because he's the only guy out there who's willing to stand up to the Heat in a lot of ways. And as I say that, he goes to sit down on the bench. Wow.
I
Okay.
almost want to say I've never really seen this, man. But then you got the 2 years ago, Phoenix got blown out by 30 or 40 at home. Maybe it was close to 50, at least 40.
Oh, it was terrible. We covered that game together, Rich. Remember?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we did.
Yeah. Game 7, Mavericks Suns last year. We covered it. Barely talked about the game. That was one of the worst losses I've ever seen in the playoffs. honestly.
it's 31 point. So I was going on a ramble here. It was 20 at that time. I look up now, it's 31. Jeez, this is
Yeah.
crazy.
The Celtics are a talented team too, man. But on paper,
I don't even
talent
get
just
it.
isn't enough. It's not enough. You have to, if you want to play at this level, you have to play with heart, and you have to play with, you know. Look, I love that Kobe quote, man. If you can't play as one, your season is done. You know, really,
Yeah,
you have to play as one. That's the only way to win. You can't do it any other way. Doesn't mean you have to love everybody, but you have to be able to play together on the court as one being, as one thing called the Celtics or the Heat or the Warriors or the Lakers, Nuggets, whatever, you know? Yeah.
can I? Okay, here's an off the cuff theory.
What?
That the system that we run, I just how far were we? We're down 20 to the Lakers, right? Or were we down
Well, in
30?
game 6,
Yeah,
we
we hit 30.
lost by 21. I think the lead was a little bit more than that. It was about 20, 25 for quite a bit of the second half. I
I
think.
want to say that it offers us a floor. I just don't think we'd ever get blown away by 30 to 40. But we have, haven't we?
Well, nobody else other than Steph and Dante hit any shots, too. So, and
Yeah.
man, gotta say, I'm very appreciative of the fact that over these last 9 playoffs, the Warriors have either won the championship or whenever we lost, it was within 6 or 7, which means every single time you've seen the Warriors make a 7-game series, we either won or had the chance to at least push it to 7. And maybe we didn't. But that's, man, I hate getting swept or gentlemen swept because it's not even competitive. I mean,
Right.
I guess it can be, this Lakers series is competitive. The Trailblazers series in 2019 that the Warriors swept was competitive. They were all comeback wins. There's 2 overtime games, and we swept them. But generally, well, there's 14 points for Tatum, I guess. Bruce. Or Nicole, sorry.
Down 29.
I mean, that's a great sign of heart, It really is. I don't know, man. What a lucky fan base we are. That we know that we've guys who absolutely will never, ever, ever roll over. They're just if they haven't done it yet, they're not going to. I'm not saying we're always losing 6. I hope that's the case. I really do hope that's the case. Or we'll never lose worse than in a game 6 is what I mean. And hopefully we'll win a lot more. But we're just such a lucky fan base, man. We're such a lucky fan base. I've seen a lot of super teams and they win a lot, but when it goes bad, they roll over. They just can't handle it, or they're not together enough, Oh, it's Ant-Man and A-Rod. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just yeah, I get it. You guys hate the Lakers and the Celtics, 2 teams that I'm rooting for. You're questioning whether you want to listen to me talk about the Warriors, I get it, but
Cody Zeller. Wow. Things are rolling.
yeah. I do think you guys are right to say, I hate to say it, but I do think there is probably a strong possibility that Joe Mazzulla's job is on the line here in this series for sure.
So what are they going to do now with the Jaylen Brown extension?
They're going to sign him to a max extension as quickly as they possibly can. What they do after that, I'm not sure. But they're going to want that salary to no matter what. Salary is useful.
Yeah.
You don't want to cut corners. It pisses other players off, makes the NBA players not like your organization. It gives you less assets. So, go for it. Oh, Butler. You knew that was good. You knew that was good as soon as he looked at the rim, man. Down 30. It's
because I just feel like the systems that all the other teams run, other than Utah, Sacramento, and Spurs, and us.
Denver. Right?
Well, Denver does have the ability to just go, okay, you're gonna you have to bring Schroeder in there. Okay, then we're gonna post up Jamal Murray, and just play kind of that 2-man game. Jokic post up, entry pass,
pick and roll.
Jamal.
Oh, post up.
Yeah. So but you do see Denver moving the ball around.
I think generally they play a somewhat similar style of game as us, though. And man, it just shows how badly we need Draymond Green to shoot the ball, because Anthony Davis having to guard Jokic, having to guard him, not being able to leave him,
right?
That took away a lot of his rim protection. If the Lakers don't have his rim protection, they, wow.
And so to get now we're going back global, but global perspective, but to get Draymond to be more of an offensive force, you got to start that in training camp.
And he has to be in training camp this season.
Yeah.
Which he will be, but he wasn't last season,
But anyway, I just think watching the Lakers and the Celtics kind of crumble here, they don't really have any other thing to do other than launch threes, or if you're going to close out hard on my launching a three, then I'll take you to the hole type of deal. So there's not a whole lot of very basic offense, honestly. And I want to theorize that may have something to do with there being a large hole in the deficit, and it's just getting bigger and bigger because you get sucked into it, and then you have to shoot more threes, and then the pressure's on you. There aren't really a whole lot of options outside of that, whereas in the Kerr system, granted it was designed around the Splash Brothers' gravity and Draymond's ability, the movement that you get, you're always going to have certain options.
What?
No, that's just a theory.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I was trying to point out earlier, and you said it in a much better way than I did, Rich, but it's not just what do you do during a game, but like, how do the Lakers improve their roster? Trade D'Lo, I guess, maybe, or
no, he's a free agent. So, yeah. Well, we can talk about
sign a trade. Sign a trade.
They're going to get Kyrie. I have no doubt.
As a Lakers fan, I am praying that they don't do that. Do not want that to happen.
Because the chemistry or his defense?
Well, he tends to, not be super beneficial for
the chemistry
team, for the team overall. And also LeBron is King James, right? But he has always run a dual monarchy system where it's him and another star. And if every time they try to put a third star around him, even in his prime, even in his youth, that guy gets somewhat diminished. And really, they need depth. They need pieces, right? They have Davis. They have LeBron. That's going to be the two stars. I just don't. I mean, I guess I get it scoring wise, but aren't you going to have to give up defensive pieces to get his scoring? For what? I mean, I know Kyrie's talented and everything. I don't know. I would not like that. Man. I wouldn't like that. Lakers will surely do that. I pray you're all wrong. I really do. I would not make that move, especially if we had to give up something in return for it.
The problem, though, is
For him.
what?
I mean, for him.
Everyone comes off the Bucks almost. D'Angelo's off. They only have, team option on Malik Beasley. Mo Bamba's back. Vanderbilt's back. Rui can opt in.
Yeah.
Lonnie's probably gone. That's why I said Schroeder's probably gone. And then all these other ones don't really matter. I mean,
so how would they get Kyrie anyway?
Reeves will get paid.
Yeah. I want it. I personally, I'd rather just keep Reeves.
Yeah.
So how do you get Kyrie? Sign and trade Russell? That means you're hard cap.
No. You just let him walk, and then Kyrie walks in because
you have cap space.
Can you do that? Might not be able to do that. You're right. Can't sign and trade. So, yeah, how did they do that?
Well, I mean,
they all agree
you could, but that you'd hard cap the team.
And that's not going to happen.
That's pretty hard capping yourself is really, really, I mean, it's difficult to get enough pieces around you if you do that. So
I don't think
the Celtics have emptied the bench. They're down 27 right now.
What is NBA cap per team? 134 million.
Yeah. So
right there is 87 million.
I think if you scroll down, they might have the total for the Lakers.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 106.
Yeah. I don't know. A bunch of minimums and might be doable.
This is what I'm saying, though, right? Lakers probably paying a lot of money because it's 136, and you either have D'Lo re-sign or you have Kyrie's. I don't think he has a huge contract necessarily, but either way. Again, they still only have 4 huge assets with that, right? The Warriors are paying a lot of money, but we have a ridiculous number of either talented players who will get better or players who you go, well, I mean, honestly, you guys are talking about Jaylen Brown's future. If the Celtics were into it, we could. I hate saying this, but there's a possibility there's a Wiggins package there with a few other guys, and we might still end up having the trio: Looney, Peyton, I don't know, Moody, or who knows? Just some really good pieces still around. Like even with a big trade like that, we could still have plus Brown. I mean, that could be still an 8 deep, solid rotation. What
and
if the team has that?
And then so we're right back to, is Steve Kerr really that bad at player development? I don't.
I think Steve Kerr is very old school and very strict and probably should have played Kuminga and Moody more. I think he should have done that. Again, though, and Bob Myers is great at roster construction, but Kerr didn't play the young guys enough, and there are way too many young guys in the team. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll address that. I'm sure the Warriors are going to address that this offseason. That in and of itself, just having that veteran locker room with what 2-3 young guys.
I'm not convinced that Steve is a bad player development guy.
I'm not saying that. I wasn't saying that at all.
Like, look at Moody. This is a playable playoff piece now. And I think the Kuminga thing was more mental than physical.
The
And
Kuminga thing.
so, yeah, not playing Kuminga in the playoffs was
Well,
more a mental aspect of Jonathan rather than a physical aspect. And
you can't reward pouting too on a championship team, right? I hate saying that, but it's not the worst thing in the world that he was pouting, that he wasn't. If he was saying that he was pouting, didn't say he was sabotaging the locker room or anything like that. But also, like, I could see Steve Kerr saying, we're not we're not rewarding that, I guess, if you get what I mean, And when Kuminga gets to the point where he's consistently playing 20, 24, 32, 36 minutes in the playoffs, he knows that he will have earned that, right? Because that is what Kerr is preparing him for. And that's exactly what happened to Moses Moody. That is to the T what happened to Moses Moody this season, right? Where when Moody was out there, what did he do wrong? Let LeBron score on him? I mean, that dude was, I'll say stay ready, but he was really, really, Kerr had him completely prepared to play in that game. And I think the same exact thing is possible for Kuminga. And I think he knows it, because there was a rumor there for a minute that, Kuminga's unhappy with his role. And then a day later comes out like, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that, he said all the right things. I want to rebound. I want to do everything. I trust, that, I mean, because he knows this is an excellent opportunity if he's able to listen and be patient for this to really work out well for him.
The part on that report from Shams and Slater, but I think it was more Shams.
Yeah.
Saying that, and the Athletic is going to jump on this. Oh, Shams has got, I've already talked about this 2 live streams ago. Oh, JK's representatives are going to talk about what kind of role does he have for next season, make sure he has a role, anything, as if Kuminga has any power over. I mean, you're a third-year player, you don't have any power over where you go. That's not just the Kuminga problem, it's everybody's problem who was drafted in 2021. So what did I say at the time? I said that's not news. That's just regular. I mean, the agent is supposed to talk to the team about what the roles are next season. So then what happens a couple days ago? Of course, I only heard the podcast yesterday night. Steve Kerr goes on to Tim Kawakami's podcast. What does he say? He goes, well, that's normal. The agent is supposed to talk to the front office about it. And by the way, it's not me. They're talking to the front office. I don't think I've talked to any player, their agent or their parents, about playing time. He was kind of joking there.
Parents?
And again,
he's still young. So
what I said turned out to be the same thing that the organization's saying. So, and this time it was Shams. But I get how the Athletic wants to use that little piece of information and blow it up. But, JK wanting to talk about his role, they did. So they talked about it. And that's the thing with Steve, is if you listen to that podcast, you'd be like, oh, he's more of an understanding guy and everything. And he was putting everything in favor of the player. He was just saying, they have so much pressure these days, all the players. I really feel bad about that part. But as far as what JK needs to do, he just needs to rebound. And we saw that. We saw that when he was playing. It was like, oh, he fell asleep. He wasn't, So again, there were the 4 mistakes in like 2 possessions, 2 sequences.
And look,
and so
Kerr doing this now.
Yeah.
Kerr doing this now. Here's another thing. if you start playing him a lot of minutes, it'll probably be pretty good, right? But once he gets that level, it's hard to rein it back in after that, right? So Kerr doing it now is like he knows there's not much longer that JK is going to be on this team without playing pretty big minutes, right? So you want to get everything you can out of even being able to give him a short leash, because eventually he's going to be so important that short leash is not possible, right? Do you get what I'm saying, Rich?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it's just developing the right habits.
exactly, it's
Yeah.
developing not just right habits. It's transforming JK into a winning basketball player, along with that athletic skill set, the mental toughness, his clear ability to be a really good teammate. It feels like, whenever he's out there, it seems like he does really try to play a team game. So, I mean, I'm holding on to my Kuminga stock because I think this dude's going to be absolutely a nightmare for the league in a couple of years. Kerr also, I think, mentioned that he's looking at Kuminga if he really wants to take the next step off it. Oh my God, man, he's hitting everything they put up.
Yeah.
Just 6 minutes to go in the fourth, and this game's been over since 6 minutes to go in the third, at least. But what's up, Rebecca? Coming on the stream? I hope so. I always love listening to Rebecca talk Warriors, and obviously
you gotta be happy.
Talk Heat, and probably talk a little Celtics too. But yeah, I'm totally convinced that Kerr is kind of what do you call it, slowly like chiseling away at Kuminga rather than getting close and letting him go out there, and play with some of those flaws that might hurt his career later on. So I'm very to the Warriors. He thought Steph was taking a lot of bad shots. Steph can make 40%, which is equivalent basically to 60% too. Yeah. Yeah. And Steph has also, as he's gotten older, cut more and more of those kind of circus threes out of his game too, interestingly enough. So they kind of met in the middle there a little bit, which is what I'm sure what Coach Kerr was hoping for. Klay still enjoys taking those heat check shots once in a while. And that's all good. That's Klay Thompson. We got to try and put gold on that other injury, by the way. We got gold on his knee, trying to put a little gold on his Achilles. That would be an important thing for me going into next season. Oh, she can't do it tonight. But she's in the chat. That's cool. I'm sure you're enjoying it. The Lakers have a very, very, very small chance to come back down 0-3. This Celtics team cannot do it. They can't. They're not going to come back down 0-3. They're just not mentally tough enough this year to do that. So you're going to go to the finals. I mean, I you know me. I never try and jinx it, but I'm saying this from a Celtics side. Oh, Celtics fan side. So, yeah. Hey, man, look, if anything, you want those Celtics to play better, at least to show that, they were a legit, like, contender that we had to face in the finals last year, right? I mean, I don't know. Whatever. 0 for 7 since game 5 for my teams, which is very frustrating. But maybe June will be better for me than May. I don't know.
Well, if it's Nuggets Heat, man, that's going to be exciting to watch.
I don't know about that. I
Nope.
think I think the Heat can play with all the heart in the world. The talent disadvantage going against a hungry, angry, super talented Nuggets team. I mean, there might be some close games, but I'm not sure that'll be the closest.
Let's get Rebecca on here. Go at it.
What?
Rebecca versus Dean. Rebecca versus Dean.
What? Versus me for what?
Well, you're saying the Nuggets are going to handle the Heat, and she obviously is rooting for the Heat.
I understand that. I'm just saying, like, it feels like the Nuggets are able to play at that same emotional intensity. Look, I'll put it to you this way. I don't think the Heat will win the title this year. They are going to be a real problem next year because I think they're going to be able to attract somebody really good.
Who?
I know Jimmy can hear me, but so can Jokic. So I love Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy Butler.
Jamal
Murray.
Jamal's keeping receipts for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not underestimating the Heat. I'm not. I'm telling you though, the Nuggets, they're just. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't think you can predict it. You just got to see it and let it play out. And 7 games isn't. You might think 7 games is long, but then again, it's not that much either. So, but we'll see plenty of them. It's fair.
You guys have watched the Nuggets play, right? And you watch the Heat play?
Yeah, but you never know until you just put them together and let's go. You never know.
All right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
It'll be fun to watch because it's not something you get.
Who
tuned in to, other than Rebecca, who tuned into Nuggets versus Heat in the regular season? Like you don't really pay attention to them. Now you do. And now you'd want to go back and watch.
I keep just to try and go through the exercise of, I know we don't care about comparisons, rankings, awards, and predictions. I never get that right on the first try, Rich. I never get it right on the first try. But
you never get crap right.
I never. Yeah, I guess I'm just not good at that.
You're thinking carp. That's why.
Carp. Yeah, fishy. But I keep thinking like Butler should probably be considered higher up on maybe all NBA second team. You guys are like, well, he didn't shoot the 3-ball very well this regular season. I know it's a regular season. I know it's a regular season ranking and award, I guess, for like all NBA stuff. I keep thinking like, yeah, but the guys I'm picking for all NBA, I'm using their regular season to predict what they're going to do in the playoffs. And I don't remember.
That's a bunch of journalists voting.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I just think he should be considered at that level of player.
Who's this?
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, right.
Because he keeps having kind of like, it's not bad regular season, but is he top 15 player? And then like every playoffs, he's like a top
Maybe
5
they should
player.
have somebody should start an all playoffs team, don't you think?
Well, they're starting to do that a little bit more with the Eastern and Western I think it's playoffs MVP, is it? Or is it conference finals MVP? I think it's playoffs MVP.
Conference finals, I think.
You sure?
Yeah,
I thought
pretty sure. Also, I saw the report of the All-Star game going back to East versus West.
It is conference finals. You're right. Yep. Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
All-Star game going back to East versus West.
I think that'd be pretty fun. I get there's the whole television thing on the draft, but
yeah,
they kind of did that because the West was just so much better than the East. Honestly, really. It's always been East-West selection for the teams, but they wanted to, balance out a little bit more. I don't think that's too much of a problem right now. Man, Udonis Haslem. Oh, Steph Curry, by the way. Miami's a really good organization, right? Steph Curry has been to, let's see, this 6. Yeah, so the Heat have been to 6 finals. Well, I guess they're about to go to 7 in a few days here, probably. No, the Celtics, they just don't have the toughness. So they're going to finals number 7. But Curry's been to 6 finals and has 4 rings. They've been to 6 finals and have 3. So, man, that's Steph Curry has had a better career than the Heat. And they play in Miami. That's pretty ridiculous, man. Like, the Heat they're a really good organization. And they have been since the mid-2000s. Right? Like, that's unbelievable, man. Yeah, 8 seed handling East like it's PE class, no doubt. Kind of gone through the gauntlet too, at least with the Bucks and the Celtics here in terms of talent. The Knicks, wow. Are the Celtics not going to get to Game 6 when the Knicks could? What is going on, man? Really?
This really is weird to have both.
It's also the Celtics are playing way below. The Heat are playing. They're punching way above their weight. They're not playing above their head, but they are punching way above their weight. But the Celtics, man, they're also not meeting the moment too,
Strange.
Yeah, the Knicks are a tougher team. I guess you're right, but oh man, I never would have thought that. I really didn't. Yeah, our bench is empty. They got Luke Cornett out there, man. Guy who I like, actually. A couple years back, thinking of a vet man, big man who could shoot a little bit, but Knicks only got to 6 because Jimmy didn't play game 2. They almost won that game too. Which, again, Warriors, the Heat, I'm playing. This is the biggest compliment I think I can give them. For the Warriors, I am playing the way the Heat play together over and over and over again and saying, look, man, we are getting to this level of – wow, that almost went in. A little around-the-back hook shot from – who is that?
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
77? Is that Mamu?
You're at 7.
Omer, you're at 7. Yeah, I liked him in the draft, too.
Had a good summer league. He did.
Yeah, I liked him in the draft back in 2020, I think. Maybe 21.
Wow, we just need Jeffrey back. Someone go hit up Jeffrey. We got Rebecca and Anthony here.
Yeah. Shaq, who has played for both of these organizations. Believe it or not.
Too bad he didn't play for Denver. Would have been perfect. He would have had the whole Final Four.
Yeah. He did play for the Lakers, though, didn't he?
Let me learn some new players here. Oh, Luke Cornett and Mike Muscala. And Sam. Wait, they got 4 white guys out there?
Well,
I'm kidding.
they are in Miami. You know, it's just for DeSantis that they're doing that.
Hey,
Of
I
course,
never
they're not.
said
They're
white
not.
men can't jump.
Yeah. Where's
I,
Woody? Where's
do I get a
Woody?
commission for that? Oh, you know who's in the? I messed up my movies, but you know who's in the new LeBron movie? That's sort of a biopic about LeBron.
Whoa,
Scoot freaking Henderson. Scoot Henderson is playing one of the players.
man! Scoot Henderson said, "I'm going to get drafted, and the first thing I'm going to do is learn from Steph Curry and get in a movie with LeBron." That guy's got a good agent
That's
with him.
nuts.
Yeah,
How did he do that?
I don't know. Just played hard, I guess, and won their respect by being respectful to him. Maybe he's kind of positive. Who knows? You know, kind of works, right? Maybe he watched this channel here and said, "This is how I'm going to approach LeBron and Steph," and it worked. You know, or maybe he has a really good agent also helping him with that. Shaq won a title with the Heat, yes, in 2006. The 6th time Shaq took a guy, his main guard, to an NBA Finals who was 25 years or younger. He done it with Penny, Kobe, and D Wade, which is an unbelievable thing. To do it 3 times with young players like that, young perimeter players like that, that's remarkable. Nobody talks about that with Shaq, but that's an incredible accomplishment. You know, 3 times with guys 20, and all 4 titles, those dudes were 23 or younger. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad for Al Horford, dude. He's getting up there in age, and he's a real
I
winner.
actually, I have, believe it or not, I have a little bit of sympathy for the Celtics.
Wow.
Being down 3-0. Wow. I didn't feel this with the Lakers, though. I admit.
Wow. The Lakers have still made a final every decade in the history of the NBA. So
Great.
we don't really need sympathy.
Thanks for ruining my happiness.
Yeah. It's all good. LA, the city everybody hates, but you got to see once.
True. Worst airport, that's for sure.
Ah, yes. There are other places in LA to fly to, though.
Oh, Nicole wants you to explain the feel bad for Horford.
Al Halford. I kind of like it. We should call him Hal. But just because he's he's getting up there, and I always thought he was a winning player. You know, very tough player. Would have loved to have him on Dubs if the moment was right and the money was right. I heard you say Al Horford played with Bill Russell before. I don't know. Are you sure it was Russell? Or was it Robert Parrish there, Bruce? Or Dave Cowens or something? Andre's got 4 rings. He's been to 7 finals. Al Horford he's made 1 finals, you know? So Gabe Vincent, the highest score for the Heat. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Al's been playing since World War II. Oh, maybe a little after World War II. NBA was founded in 1947, baby. Although this NBL was around. Have zero sympathy for Horford, North Seas, been shoved on the floor, so he deserves to go home. Okay. No. Little dancing, showboating on the floor is all right. Hey, Rich, you there?
I'm here. I'm back.
I'm gonna take a break real quick and move the setup into the room so my parents can watch their House Hunters International like they like to do. And they're waving me stage left. So I'll be back in a minute.
No problem. By the way, how's the weather for everybody where you are? Our weather sucks here in San Francisco. I am dead set on moving out of here because of the weather. That's it. That's the only reason. Sad, isn't it? Let's see what else. Good to have you, Anthony, man. It's been a while, man. How's everything going, man? At Anthony, how's everything going in Chicago? Okay, what else we got? Gabe Vincent. What a game for Gabe Vincent. 29? Wow. Even Caleb, 18. What else? Bam, spin move. I must have missed that one. But he had a lot of other highlights too. A couple of them. Okay, what else is going on here? Whew. Humid as hell. Is it cloudy and humid? At least it's sunny. Get to see the sun. Get to see light. We just see gray here. I feel like I'm in London or something. Not raining in Texas. Oh, Miami had heavy rain. Oh, good theory. Good theory. I love a good basketball gods theory. I'm more likely to believe that than anything else, quite honestly. That's a good one. I like it. Also, didn't Tatum say he was a little too arrogant after that one? I'm one of the best players in the world. Unless you're losing by 20 and then it becomes 30. 70s all week in Seattle. Speaking of which, where's my guy Ben Conant? You and him ought to or is that you, Ben? I don't know. Maybe it's the same person. Mid-70s in Seattle. Wow. I know, right? I know. But I might. Oh, there's Ben. What's up, man? Okay. Plus, we're doing more and more on this channel that's live stream related and all this other stuff that we're trying to do. So it's becoming more and more digital. So my location is irrelevant. And I want to be closer to family. As much as I disagree with my dad on Steve Kerr, I do want to hang out with them some more and maybe not talk about Steve Kerr. Maybe we can talk about something agreeable and totally has zero negativity. Steph Curry. We could talk about Steph Curry all the time or something. But I do want to be closer with family. Mom, too. Let's see what else. Wanted to see Andre play. Yeah. Oh, he's still got to someone mentioned that he would announce his retirement soon. I forgot where I saw that. Maybe it was one of you mentioned it. So on Haslam not playing, which dovetailed into Andre Iguodala talk. FYI, he's going to announce his retirement or not on his podcast soon? Question mark? Don't know. It's rainy and hot and humid. That sucks. You don't even get the sun. Butler getting his first ring. Yeah. You know why I'm rooting for the Nuggets, though, is because Miami has, what, 3 championships all time? And Nuggets have 0 championships all time. So I'd rather have it be the Nuggets win their first one because the Heat have already won 3. That's my only reason. It's not a main reason. It's not a reason that I'd get really defensive about or really passionate about. You watch a game, sometimes you feel like you want to root for one team or the other. Put a little, your competitive itch is there still. Oh gosh. It's sub 32 in Chicago, and yet I swear at night here, San Francisco, it's like 41. It's not that much better. Sadly. At least here by the ocean. 03 was crazy. Nia Long, I know. I've heard the name. I'm not up to speed on the what do you call it? Pop culture. So let's take a look. Nia Long. Who is this person? Oh. Secretly hating on Celtics headfans. Oh, here you go. Let me scroll this. Okay. Bruce is always up to speed on all these pop culture things. So whatever. You learn something every day. That's why I love coming on here. We got 66 concurrents. How is that even possible? After a blowout between Miami and Boston, and we've got 66 Warriors fans on here, which is nuts. Let's see how many likes we have. While we're on that topic, 59 likes. Ooh, just short. So 66 concurrents, 59 likes. Please splash the like button. Okay, what else? Oh, man. What happened in Cancun? Yeah. Okay. I heard Seattle's nice right now. Top 7 in anything. Oh, gosh. Ooh. Ooh, go Bears. Let's see. I know, missed the Warriors play. I'm telling you, I go back to this. Wait, I know this. I know this person. Nia Long. Oh, what did she star in? Ah, Boys in the Hood. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Rose to Promise for yeah. Boys in the Hood. Duh. I knew that. Oh my gosh. Wow. And Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah. Friday, of course. Wow. Did they talk about all that crap in here? Personal life. Udoka. Oh my God. What? This whole time I was oblivious that she was the wife they got cheated on. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Whatevs. Can't believe that one, man. Sometimes you miss out. You just miss out. Like, what else did I miss out on? I've missed out on Breaking Bad. Never seen Breaking Bad. I've missed out on probably a couple other things that would make your jaw drop. Joel Embiid, nope, not possible. Not realistically possible. I know we're in Cancun already. What else? Good night, TRO. Oh yeah. And just like Dean was saying, they've got to do this so that they have at least a trade chip to roll with, and then make the trade if you want to make a trade, go gangbusters with another team. Yeah, or he could bolt. Yeah. He's a very deep thinker. He's graduated from Cal. He has a very independent mind, so you never know. He might go ahead and walk, and we'll see. We'll see. It would behoove Boston to try and retain him. If we go to Boston here, it would behoove it would behoove them to fill in these spots and then have the ability to trade a guy out, trade Jalen out if necessary, or just to have that after next year. Because then you're trading superstar for superstar, and you're gonna always have a disgruntled superstar somewhere. Always. Yep. It's funny how the tide changes. Suddenly I'd rather be the Warriors than the Celtics, right? Yeah. Wow. I don't think he can get rid of Jason because he's so tall, 6'9". He can get off the shot easier than Jalen, and probably already shoots better than Jalen. BKRef.com, Jason Tatum. 35%, 37.5 career. 33%. I had a feeling his 3-point field goal shooting was not that great. Twitter Celtics must be in absolute shambles right now. Matter of fact, we can go check in on this. Our guy Keith Smith, see how bad things are going over there. Let's just watch the world burn right here. So we did talk about Jaylen Brown a little bit. So wow, we're at the last note that I took was at 2-hour mark. Okay, anyways. Let's see how bad it's going. Okay, those are he hasn't talked about his own. Less of a chance this happens if he fired. If he would like to be demoted. Oh gosh. Since many are asking, I would fire Joe Mazzulla. I don't advocate for firing people. I don't think he's going to get fired. He's given up completely. Down 3-0. I knew back in October that this team didn't have it. Y'all are lying. Oh, gosh. Man, look at it in Miami. They're going nuts over there. So, not too bad, actually. His timeline is not in shambles. But Bill Simmons is somewhere collapsing. I know. Man. That'd be hilarious. Oh, boy. What do we talk about now? Is Dean coming back? Well, I don't know. I'm ready to go. Even though this has been fun, I just don't know what else to talk about at this point. I've talked about everything. Look for on our website. I'm gonna do a transcript of the Steve Kerr podcast with Tim Kawakami. It was pretty informative. I learned a few things on there. I haven't written on here since May 12th, and it's gonna be May 22nd tomorrow. 10 days is a long time in NBA scale because I just never got around to the game 6 stuff. And so, no shame. I'm saying if you want to subscribe, and I'll tell you what, you're gonna get the transcript of the Steve Kerr and Tim Kawakami podcast if you're a paid subscriber at $5 per month. I don't think it's a whole lot, and I know I don't have a whole lot of exclusive stuff to put on there, but I do transcribe pretty much everything. So you're going to get every single quote possible. And then once in a while, there will be some inside information, maybe once every 2 months. And so mostly it's just mostly a donation, so if you're feeling I gotta find a way to see. I run a nonprofit. Man, I can make it tax deductible, but $5 a month, you get a tax deduction of 50%. That's not a whole lot. But no, it's just, I think I look at this website as just another way for you to support this channel in a different way if you would like to. And so yeah, look for it tomorrow. I've been working on the next transcript of Steve Kerr with Kawakami. I've been working on that for now, I'd say 2 or 3 days, just because not that it takes that long. It does take a while to do that stuff. No, it's just I was trying to figure out what to post next, and then I think after that we're going to go player by player, and we're going to use some of Dean's comments from the last live stream where he went player by player, and we'll just have once a week for the next 15 weeks. Now, some guys might not even be Warriors by then. Maybe twice a week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Come back whenever you want. Dean, we're going to shut it down pretty soon, though, unless you got something else to talk about. Let's see. Wow. Oh, and don't forget TNT, June 29th. Klay and Steph against Mahomes and Kelsey. Warriors Kings, the best series. Yeah, for sure. Good point, Bruce. Put that in the notes. Does Jokic look a little like Magic's skillet meets Shaq's frame? Oh boy, Dean. Sometimes your hot takes are so next level that it loses me. But I will give you the originality medal. You will always get. You'll always be number one in originality. Some fight in Tatum. That's the thing is I feel like Tatum doesn't have enough moves. It's either a shake and bake pull up three or drive to the hole. There's not a whole lot to it. And so if he's off, if he's not hitting threes, then you're in trouble. All right. See you next time, Ben. Enjoy the 75-degree weather. Well, Anthony and Dean have plenty to talk about. Let's go back to the salary cap. Let's do Warriors. I don't know. I feel comfort in the salary cap. I just do. Look at that. 2026. I feel some comfort always having the salary cap up here. Tatum can't go left. Yeah. I mean, dare I say, Tatum is a top 10 player, and yet he could add some moves. He could add a little bit to the bag because there's just, I don't know, just variety in ways to score, maybe. But that's what you get when your system is based on talent, and that's it. And maybe we got lucky that, oddly enough, maybe, here's a philosophical thing. Steph and Klay, Steve Kerr looked at Steph and Klay and he goes, we can't use Steph and Klay as, one-on-one guys in the fourth quarter. That's just not going to work. Like we need to establish some movement because especially Steph being 6'3", I mean, it gets a little tough when it's the fourth quarter and you're grinding it out and you're ISO or ISO pick and roll. And so oddly, we've implemented this system. Of course, Draymond helps out with that as well. And so I got to think about it some more. But yeah, I think I don't have the game film clips to show you. I don't have any of that. It's just a feeling that I get, and just through osmosis watching the games where there's a lot more variety when we're behind the eight ball. And when it's a team like the Celtics or the Lakers, there's not really a whole lot of variety. So when the other team has got you cornered, there's just not enough variety to get you out of that situation. That's just a feeling. Welcome back, Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Rich.
So yeah, you can close it out if you'd like, but I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, well, it is pretty crazy that two organizations that have 17 NBA rings, Lakers have one NBL ring too, so they kind of 18. It's all good. Might get both swept. I guess the biggest question I have for you, Rich, is when are we going live next, man? What game? Tomorrow?
Oh yeah, well, game one, if it's well, I guess we could do I always have to have at least one day of rest in between. I don't know, when are you free?
I should be free the weekdays, I think, coming up. So
because the next one I would be free with the day of rest would be Tuesday for game 4 of Heat Celtics. So maybe we'll do that if you're around Tuesday, because if we don't do it Tuesday and both teams go out 4-0, then we don't have anything for a while.
Until, yeah, it's crazy rest, right?
When do the NBA finals start?
It's like June 2nd or something like that. or May.
Thursday, June 1st. So it would be, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Tuesday, yeah. So Tuesday the 23rd, then we'd be out for like 9 days.
9 days, yeah. And then, I mean, that's 9 days off and then 10 days until game one. I guess it's the 23rd, right?
Yep.
It's
so
possible.
9 days.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh man, I wish Fast X came out next week. They got Little Mermaid coming out, and I don't really want to watch that, even though, kind of cool concept and everything, but I'm not in a rush to do that. So I wish I could go watch a movie next week that I want to watch on IMAX.
Yeah, there you go. I've never seen any of the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, whoa. I was just talking about what have I missed? Like, I have never seen any of the Breaking Bad series. But yeah, I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious. That's incredible.
Nope. I watch the trailers every 2 years,
Yeah.
There's a new one, so.
Well, there's YouTube channels that'll cover it for you.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I don't know. I guess I'll watch a couple horror movies that I've been waiting for.
Oh, yeah. You do like those, don't you?
I do like those. Certain ones. Not all of them, but I do like some of them. Yeah. Planning and making a book.
A book?
Rich
No,
and me.
Not planning to do a book.
I was thinking about a book to talk about kind of the history of great players in the NBA. I wrote in a notebook. I filled up a notebook or two with a couple of those. I am very excited for that underrated documentary by Steph that should be coming out later this year. That's gonna, yeah.
July.
Because it ends in the championship too. They were making that in the 22 season. They didn't know how the season was going to end. So.
My buddy Mark, the Lakers
I was
fan,
in Park City, Utah, Sundance. For it.
The Lakers fan has predicted Nuggets in 5 against the Heat. Interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. But I think the Heat will probably take it to 6. I think the Nuggets will win in 6 or so. I don't like to do that, but hey, since I've gotten every other prediction wrong, I might as well throw out another one this year, right? Other than Wemby to the Spurs, did get that right. Yeah. By the way,
get Scoot. That's not bad. Oh no, there's Leonard Miller too. So
Brandon Miller, right? Oh wait, Leonard Miller.
Brandon Miller, my fault. Brandon Miller. There's a Leonard Miller as well, I think.
Right.
That might fall in the Warriors range, but anyways, Brandon Miller, yeah.
Yeah, Tankathon is projecting him to go 2nd, which is
who?
Tankathon again.
Projecting who?
Brandon Miller to go to Charlotte and Scoot.
Well, he's 6'9", yeah.
Scoot to go to Portland, which I would enjoy. I like Scoot, and I guess Charlotte's cool and everything, but yeah. Wemby to San Antonio is the most apparent thing. It is now. I was saying that months ago that San Antonio would win the pick, though. But yeah, I mean, it's just awesome that Wemby's going to start his career off with Greg Popovich. Although I was hearing someone say that Pop is, must be happy and everything, but kind of went like, I was going to go start giving wine tours and have all this time to golf. And now I got to be here at least another 5 years. Right?
I know, right?
I'm sure he's not upset, but just like, oh, well, guess I'm coaching for a little while longer. The Lakers had already won their championship by beating the Warriors. Yeah, I mean, that's not really the way LA views basketball stuff. Like, people out here were happy about that, but it's all, look, the West Coast is all about basketball, really. I mean, it's the thing that, west of the Rockies, it's the thing we're best at out here. So it's all about
Hey,
the titles.
the poll has evened out a little bit. Nuggets now 60%, Heat 40%.
For the poll, right? Yeah.
Also, I saw, unfortunately, on the Bluebird app where man, people were really, a lot of Warriors fans were saying stuff about the Lakers. And I posted this on Instagram. I said, me being an old OG from playing in tournaments, amateur men's league tournaments, if we had lost in the quarterfinals of those tournaments, we didn't say anything about the teams that advanced. There's at least 4 teams that we
Like
don't say
making fun of
anything
them,
about. Yeah,
or
like saying anything about it.
and they lost. Yeah.
It's
No.
just respect because you
Yes.
lost in the quarterfinals, then you should shut your mouth because you lost
Definitely.
in the quarterfinals. But
I
and yet,
totally agree with that.
obviously, Twitter is crazy. It's the wild,
Yeah.
wild west, and it's a zombie apocalypse. So, but I had to throw in my 2 cents there, like true basketball people. I can't really say anything about any of the teams that made it further than we did.
Well, I can say, look how close, even though they're down 0-3, look how close the Lakers are. It was, that's a really good team that we lost to. Look at the Nuggets. They're playing with a somewhat similar system a little bit as Warriors, but like, oh, I'm so glad that the team that knocked us out is getting whooped. Like, why? Doesn't that make us look bad? What?
No, it's worse than that. On Twitter, they're just saying,
I'm sure.
Lakers are this, that, and the other thing. It goes beyond who you're rooting for. You can root for whoever you want. It's just the throwing of Lakers under the bus. Sort of. I would just keep my mouth shut. I mean, you may think it, just don't say it. I mean, I always view all of these teams. We're all in the same gym. There's just that's the real part of basketball that I try to bring to this channel that I actually have, gone through in real life. Like we're all stuck in this gym. We're watching, and sometimes you give respect by watching the next game. You lost, you're watching the next game.
Yes.
They advanced to the semifinals. You give your respect. There used to be back in the day, like we'd have forums and stuff. There was a debate about that, and there was a Indian Pakistani tournament where some certain guys left, and they were saying, you guys, next time you guys got to stay, show your respect. You lost in the quarterfinals, at least stay for the first half of the semifinals. Show your respect for the teams that beat you, and I'm totally in line with that. Just out of
Yeah, it's a little bit
spirit.
like shaking hands too.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Where sometimes guys will get really emotional one way or the other. Like Dirk got really emotional against the Heat and left and went to the locker room, because he won. Or sometimes it's like, well, I'm super upset and I'd rather not put that out. But most of the time, just shake your opponent's hand, man. Look, it does not help you gaining a reputation of being disrespectful if you're a team, and we've learned that from history a lot too, outside of sports and a bunch of different things, because if you give respect, you will at least also be respected by your opponent, right? So not a it was disappointing, but it wasn't like a terrible postseason result. It wasn't a good postseason result for the Warriors, but it wasn't terrible either. I thought we had a really bad regular season and kind of got it together at the end to play really hard. And same goes for everybody else, other than the Celtics, who are having real problems with competitive fire. That's what I would say. They are such a talented team. We know that from last year. You guys remember watching the Celtics team last year against us in the finals, right? They were good. They were really tough. They played really well, and we won. But those are close games, and they're lacking that competitive fire. And what you said about Tatum, Rich, is something that's actually been upsetting me a little bit. He is like 24 years old, I think.
Wow, so young.
Only like a year older than maybe a year and a half older than Jordan Poole.
Wow.
I think. Let's see. So Jordan Poole was born June 99. Tatum was born March 98. He's 25 years old and 79 days. So he's still very, very young. But he's been to enough conference finals and won NBA finals, and to have enough experience where he's a young, high caliber, experienced player who's known nothing but winning seasons, really. Retaliatory Lakers, but I get. Still feel good. No, we lost this Lakers team that's getting beaten by Denver like this. Yeah. Again, those are really close, very competitive games, and the Lakers had a chance in all three of them. So I don't think whatever happens in that series will make the Warriors look bad. Really, I think both of those teams. K-Money, man, you've got this whole podcast and the one that we did before that about trades and stuff. So probably winding it up here a little bit. But you can check those out if you want to hear our opinions on that, so we don't have to go through every single detail. But that's for anybody who just came on here and is wondering if we talked about that. All right, Percy, have a good night, man. Take it easy. Thank you. But yeah, the Nuggets, Heat, Lakers, Warriors, all those teams have real competitive fire that they can rely upon, and the players to back it up. The Celtics really, really need that. Curry always had it more than what I've seen from Tatum, but the Tatum Brown is very intense. He's a very tough player, but he's not that vocal. It's a little bit like they have somewhat similar personalities to Steph and Klay. Although, again, Steph and Klay both at a little bit different level than what I've seen from those two, just in terms of competitive desire and toughness and stuff like that. But they need a fiery, hyper-competitive leader like a Draymond Green. And Smart was that for a long time, but without Ime there, they just didn't have it for this series. So if you ever want to know the value of Draymond Green, would he make the Celtics better? Yeah, definitely. Would he make the Heat better? I mean, would he be? Isn't that exactly what they do? Is they play like Draymond? Would he make the Lakers better? Yeah, he would. Would he make the Nuggets better? Yeah. But you know what, man? He's a dub. and I think he always will be. So please appreciate Draymond Green and what he does for this team, because heart and soul of the team's not even enough to describe what he does. It's really not. He's our foundation. He really is. He unlocks Steph and Klay. He's the best leader in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. He can do everything defensively, obviously. He's an incredible chess master offensively, and just does whatever it takes to win. And you know what? How many people can really play that black hat type character? The enforcer, irritant, like don't mess with that guy. Because right now, I'm seeing Draymond and Jimmy Butler are the only two guys who are actually able to pull that off, and we got one of them. Thank God we have Draymond. It's interesting. I was hoping they'd play Tatum at point guard, Brown at shooting guard, Williams at small forward, Horford at power forward, and Williams at Robert Williams at I said Grant Williams at small forward. Yeah, Time Lord Robert Williams third at center, and try and go really large, and take the guards off the bench. I'm not sure they're really willing to do that, but Tatum, I do almost see him as a really big point guard type who can also score, because I think you're right. There is something in his bag he just doesn't quite have the dynamic moves yet that would allow him to be that would allow him to take it to another level scoring wise. There's something there that needs to still be added for him to, because he comes down and he can do a crossover dribble and get to the rim, although he's not always the strongest finisher. He's a really good mid-range shooter, but doesn't go to it that much. And then it's kind of a lot of, sort of 1-2 dribble pull-up threes or catch and shoot threes. So, yeah, Celtics need a long look in the mirror, man. But, and what's crazy? You said, would you rather have the season that we had coming off a championship, or the season the Celtics have had coming off a finals appearance? I mean, honestly, right now,
I'd hate to go out 4-0 or 4-1, right?
It is the conference finals and not the second round. And again, that would have been a first if we'd been swept. That hasn't ever happened with Steph, Klay, and Dre. But I think the competitive just insanity that the Warriors showed just to even get to that game 6, and the kind of the positivity that we heard from the exit interviews from everybody, that didn't seem like platitudes. It seemed or emotional overreaction, like you couldn't handle in the moment. Like there's been a steady stream of like, okay, we need to get better. We know, we have confidence that we can do it. We're gonna be better together. So, like, it's exactly what you wanted to hear from the Warriors. I would be shocked if you hear that type of stuff from the Celtics, right? Because it's scary when you have such a talented team that plays the way they just played in a decisive game, and that's been a problem. Like, that's been kind of around a little bit, other than last year with Udoka, with this group of players for some time. As successful as they've been to 5. Jaylen Brown has been to 5 conference finals.
Wow.
Which means he had a chance to go to only one fewer finals than the Warriors, right? But I still think the Celtics wouldn't take Kyrie Irving back, though. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. But you know, it Celtics are larger than the Warriors. They're like physically larger. That's what you mean, right, Amy? Yes. Although their depth is probably not quite as deep as what the Warriors have. I still think the Warriors have the deepest team in the NBA. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, strength in numbers. That's the way it was built. And it's Coach Kerr playing everybody. When things are going right, everybody gets to find minutes at some point in an important moment. And
By the way, I also love how Klay always references that. He goes back to that strength in numbers. He's like the only one that keeps saying that after all these years.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, Klay is a real warrior, man. Like, he really seems to love referencing the history, of the franchise in a way where, like, Steph and Klay will constantly talk about what we've done together, and they're normal basketball players, right? They're like, what's my team around me? But Klay has still got a little bit of that fan side to him, and I mean that in the best possible way, where he's like, playing in this franchise, that had Wilt Chamberlain, Nate Thurman. Like, this dude really, he's a fan of the Dubs, man. I love Klay. And how dare you people act the way you've been acting? Not you, Rich, or the people in the comments, but the stuff I've seen on social, nothing gets me angrier than people disrespecting Klay. Nothing. Yep. That dude's the best, and he's been through things that almost no other basketball player could come back and play. Look, statistically, it's hard to tell which season is which. That in and of itself is ridiculous, considering what Klay's had to go through. And he lost. He got the peak of his prime years just taken right away from him.
Right.
Just taken right away from him. And has he ever complained about it? No. He said that it's hard. But has he ever publicly complained about that? No. You know why? Because he is a national treasure, just as a person. Okay? So I'm sorry. I get heated whenever I think about that. I really do.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
No doubt. Oh, by the way, Steve Kerr on the podcast with Tim Kawakami, this was one of the little nuggets that they had. No pun intended. He said that Klay is going to start next season. And basically he said Klay's still playing like, he's a starter in the NBA. He's a two-way guy. So he's still a starter in the NBA. So
I would love for Klay to be the sixth man. I'm just going to say that. I am not saying that you bench him. Those are two opposite ends of the spectrum. I am also totally happy starting Klay yet again, because that's Klay Thompson. I think it would give the team a different look if he was a quarter closer, right? That's what a six man is they close the quarters, and I'm definitely closing with Klay. But that's Klay, man. Whatever gets him to play his best is what I want for him. Because we also clearly, Coach Kerr said we're not winning without Draymond. We did terribly without Klay. We made the play-in, and we had the worst record in the league, and then lost 2 straight games in the play-in without Klay Thompson, right? With Klay Thompson actually available to play, we made 6 straight finals. So whatever it takes to maximize Klay's game, I totally am for it, and I trust Klay Thompson to continue being the great player that he's been. So starting doesn't matter, man. I don't know how to tell you guys this. It does not matter if you start. It just doesn't. I mean, it does affect a little bit of the vibe of how you're playing, right? Starting off the game and being able to set the tone versus coming in and reacting to what's happened over a couple minutes. But I'm not saying cut Klay's minutes here. Okay. Just position him in a different part of the rotation to, help some of those the Steph minutes and stuff like that. And I don't know. Also, Steph's
have to
come
think
off the
about that
bench.
some more.
Draymond's come off
I
the
don't know.
bench. What? Andre came off the bench. Jordan coming off the bench.
I'd have to think about that some more.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know that there's a reason to make him sixth man. What's the reason there? Like there was a reason for Andre to go sixth man.
I think it allows Klay to be able to be the focus of the offense a little bit more, and kind of.
So who are you starting though?
Gary.
Starting Gary
for defense. Oh yeah.
You're taking away a shooter, and then your Klay's defense isn't all that bad.
Oh no, it's not all that. I'm not saying Klay's defense is bad, but Gary he's a super defense. Like that dude really should.
I can't agree with you on this.
That's fine. Right. That's fine. I always have these crazy ideas.
Payton? No, I would at least, I'd be amenable to a well-playing Jordan Poole, but then again,
we have had success starting Jordan Poole, and he's played a lot better as a starter, no doubt. I mean, all of 21. Especially the final stretch of 21, and in a lot of 2022, we started Jordan Poole, and we played really well. And obviously started round one against the Nuggets too. So I understand that.
Well, anyways,
if I could justify myself real quick, Rich, it's just I think Steph is such a good offensive player that what I'd like to start the game off with is Steph, and then just the meanest, craziest, most physical defenders you could put out there, whether that's Kuminga or Looney, and then Gary, Wiggs, and Draymond. And if that's not working offensively, if you can put in Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson, that shifts you to having just a ridiculous offensive capability if those guys are hitting well. That's all I was really thinking. But I understand. I totally understand what you're saying too, Rich.
Yeah, I don't think it ain't broke, so don't fix it type of deal.
It could have been better in the playoffs, but that's
that's on Klay. That's on Klay. That's not,
Yeah, I think so too. DA. I thought Looney hit a free throw line jumper, and he's really been good at finishing around the rim. He's really improved his English, I guess, and the angles that he can finish, and how high he keeps the ball up. I also think if although Loon is such an incredible screen setter, if teams aren't really guarding him and that's becoming a problem, maybe you even have him post up without the ball just to force that guy to either defend him or leave him wide open under the basket, and just have a little bit more like Draymond Loon. I love your unselfishness. I love your passing ability, but like, look to score, be a threat to open everybody else up. I think that can be important. We don't need them taking high volume. Draymond double digits, Loon like 5, shots a game probably. Like I'm talking about like 10 shots for Draymond, 5 shots for Loon, something like that. But they've proven to be able to score in the right spots on the floor, and Draymond's really improved as a corner 3-point shooter. I really feel that that's actually a shot that the other team has to respect from outside for Draymond Green that he can get to. So, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up.
Well, I'm good.
All right.
I'm done. I'm hungry too.
Hey, man. We've gone 3 hours and almost 15 minutes here for two teams that don't even play in the same conference as the team that we're covering, because we love basketball and we love being here with you. Or at least I feel that way. I'm sure, Rich, you feel that way. You know, maybe I am underrating Miami a little bit here. I'll think about that. Deneen.
All right. So next live Tuesday. See you guys Tuesday. And that's it for me. I'm pooped.
Sure. I will be here
Just us.
Tuesday.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Just us 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, just us, baby.
See you guys later. Take care.